Hello and welcome back to the Satanic Media Agenda Exposed. And don't ask me what number we're on because we're way up there, Michael, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're way up there. And we just did a session on Sharon Tate. And I'm assuming we're going right back in to the whole Manson murder fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting looking at the past and looking at how the media has been used to shape our reality. And sadly, growing up as a Generation Xer, Michael, in the United States, it's been very revealing to me to have to deal with all of this lies, just constant lies.
Hmm. Yeah, it's nothing else but lies. This entire life is just lies because these people are in the Antichrist spirit, and Satan rules over all the material aspects. Yeah, that's the thing. That if you don't know the Bible, you're in the best way to put it, you're lost. You're lost. Yeah. All this people, all this stuff that it's going on there. This is fabricated. Yeah, Laurel Canyon is a neighborhood of Hollywood Hills in Los Angeles used by the CIA for a mind control project to create the hippie counterculture of the 60s, and that's most likely. Laurel in ancient Greece was associated with the god Apollo, hence Apollo 11. And laurels, yeah, you see that in the logo of the United Nations, for example. The project was modeled on the Monte Verita community in Ascona, Switzerland. The Knights of Malta have, so to speak, have created that country. And they are serving the Vatican, of course. You know, the Swiss guards to the Vatican. So these laurels, you see, also Laurel United Nations. Ah, not Stan Laurel, of course. He's also attributed to Laurel.
You have UND.
United Nations. It's always it baffles me always that actually the United Nations actually they depict a flat Earth, yeah, with the laurels around it, which means it has something to do with the Roman laurels, and it's not that easy, huh? It's not that hard actually.
It's even worse than that. They have a sign of Anu along with 33 segments as well.
Thank you. I just want to mention that. Yeah, I have a hard time in the second session every time because it's hard to concentrate.
No, it's
on
all right.
stuff.
I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to back
33.
up, Michael.
And
we can
also
plow
that looks
through this.
Doesn't it look like a target from a shooter's perspective?
Yes. And it's to the north. It's the north.
Yeah. And from the top, yeah. So
and who's at the north in the Bible? It's God that's in the Bible.
Yeah.
God is in the north. You know, the creator of heaven and earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's Laurel Canyon for the people who want to know. Yeah, Laurel Canyon, and this is scripted reality. Yeah, this is just everybody plays his part. The one is playing the writers, the others are the actors. They are musicians, talent scouts, models. What you would like to see? Yeah, it's all a big. Yeah, it's Hollywood actually. It's Hollywood. It's part of Hollywood when you see it that way. Yeah. So in Switzerland also they got certain facilities there. Yeah. Carl Jung, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, all these people of the occult stuff. There are many people located in Switzerland. Whoa. So main actors, children from military families, who could that be? Could that be Jim Morrison from The Doors? Could that be Grateful Dead? Could that be Sharon Tate, Paul Tate, US Army, mind controlled and trained to become actors or pop stars in the music industry? And that's what these recommended script from Dave McGowan, Weird Scenes at the Laurel Canyon is all about. It's interesting. It's really interesting. It goes to Frank Zappa, who is military specialist. It goes to Beach Boys, which are, of course, integral part of the Manson family ritual, because it's official narrative that one of the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson, who later drowned under mysterious circumstances, was giving shelter to the Manson family, and it costed him about $100,000 and all this stuff. You can't imagine this stuff. And even his Ferrari he landed to the Manson family. How ridiculous is that? So these people are military personnel. The band America, a horse with no name. Angela Lansbury, Brian Wilson, what I talked before, the Brian Beach Boys, signed to Capitol Records. Hence the name. Huh? Yeah, so Kent Heat, Cass Elliot, the Mamas and the Papas. Yeah, with John Phillips, who worked with Terry Melcher, who is the son of Doris Day and who former was the inhabitant of 10050 Cielo Drive. What a coincidence. Oh, you see, that is all part of the military project. Monday. Yeah, and we have been fooled all our lives. Charles Manson, associated with the Beach Boys, yes. How innocent can it be when it is the Beach Boys? Oh, you asked yourself, what did they do with drugs? What did they do with so many stuff there? Read that book, Weird Scenes at the Canyon. Really interesting. Really interesting. You know, Terry Melcher, the son of an Annapolis graduate and World War II military intelligence officer. No, it's... The biggest hit, Mr. Tambourine Man, which is actually Satan or Lucifer, was a cover of Bob Dylan of the Greenwich Village scene. Yeah, so Bob Dylan is also in it. Dennis Hopper, Easy Rider, of course. Diane Linkletter, Eric Burden, The Animals. Frank Zappa, who worked at Edgewood Arsenal in Baltimore, Maryland, connected to MK Ultra. He signed Alice Cooper, who was, of course, at the Muppet Show. Graham Parsons, The Byrds, Overdose, Speedball. It's when you start with it, you will never find any end. And the danger I see is that you don't have any time to read the Bible. That's why I said this is the last project on Satanic Media that I want to do. Janis Joplin, of course. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? Dated Jesuits, known for war on drugs. Yeah, heroin overdose, that's official narrative. Yeah. Jay Sebring, that's the celebrity's haircutter, who also was part of that ritual and officially died there and has been hanged. Jim Morrison, The Doors, named after the book of Aldous Huxley, and quote of William Blake, died in Paris, like William's mother Diana, in that underground tunnel. It's never ending, actually. When I started, it's never ending. Mrs. Phillips from the Mamas and Papas, her daughter was at the Wilson Phillips pop music band, and she said then, I forgave my father on his deathbed for sexually abusing me, and you don't want to know all this stuff, and you don't know if it's true, if it's made up or so. All these people are in that Laurel Canyon. All these people. Lenny Bruce, Lou Adler, Natalie Wood, James Dean affiliated, lived in the house of Cass Elliot, Mamas and Papas. She drowned in 1981 under very extremely serious, mysterious circumstances. Oswald Stanley here, the drug dealer of the Grateful Dead. We will never finish. We will never finish if you really see all
I sense your humor there, Michael. Grateful Dead. I mean, what kind of a name is that? I mean,
of course, you see, when it is a military project, of course, you see, their job is, their profession is to kill.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's military. They are not here to negotiate. They're not diplomats. They had not an embassy. They're not ambassadors. No. Phil Spector band is the Wrecking Crew, which is very interesting because the Wrecking Crew happened to be a community of musicians, and the Wrecking Crew is the exact title of that movie where Sharon Tate and Dean Martin starred in, and who did the fight choreography for Nancy Kwan and Sharon Tate? It was Bruce Lee in 1968. And if I would now reveal the things which later come, can you imagine, Brett, how many dollars Bruce Lee got for training Sharon Tate for the Wrecking Crew in 1968?
No idea.
$11,000. But that must be one of the thousands of coincidences. So, the wife of Jackson Browne, that famous musician where happened to be one record from, also he had an overdose in 1976. Yeah, suicidal, overdose, Jackson Browne. Also, Jackson Browne is a military project. It's all Laurel Canyon. Yeah, this looks like a highway to hell to me. Yeah, of course it's highway to heaven here. Or, Cielo Drive, yeah, that's the sky is the limit, yeah, huh? Yeah. Where do you want to start? Salmineo, also James Dean movie, also was stabbed. So James Dean had a car crash, officially at least. Salmineo was stabbed and Natalie Wood drowned. So you have all the main actors from Rebel Without a Cause died under tragic, mysterious circumstances. Steven Spielberg, all these people affiliated were with the Beach Boys, Birds, Eagles, even Hotel California is a resemblance of the Church of Satan in San Francisco. Yeah, that's actually Hotel California. History of Laurel Canyon. With the creation of Hollywood film industry in 1910, the canyon attracted a host of photo players. The science fiction author Robert Heinlein's Stranger in a Strange Land, that's the quote of Robbie Robertson, where Peter Gabriel has his vocals in Somewhere Down the Crazy River, Stranger in a Strange Land, had meetings with Ron Hubbard, the founder of Church of Scientology, who happened to have rituals of the Ordo Templi Orientis, Aleister Crowley, together with, of course, Jack Parsons or Marvel Parsons, Jack's Marvel Parsons. Can you imagine when your parents are naming a boy named Marvel? Oh, that's something, huh? That's something. So, the Lookout Mountain Air Force Base of Laurel Canyon, operated as a movie studio, was later bought by Jared Leto, which is very interesting. So look, the ritual killing happened in Cielo Drive, and the army facility for propaganda movies is just 8 miles apart when you drive with a car, and the direct distance would be close to 5 miles, I think. Yeah, so you could also look from this spot here and they look out in a mountain. You could look to Cielo Drive. Isn't that something? Lookout Mountain. Lookout Mountain. Even I think it was Ronald Reagan was involved in that project. So you really cannot imagine. That was quite in the view. This is James Stewart. Yeah, these are actors working for the United States Army. So how can you tell when these people are actors and they're working for the United States, they have to have a security clearance. So these people, they know secrets. They are, in a certain kind of way, low-level spies. And we talked about this this propaganda. This is all propaganda. This, of course, is Catholic propaganda. It's quite easy to see. So the entire thing set up here in California, close to Hollywood, is most likely an army project. So Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, also Laurel Canyon. Yeah, that's the book here. David McGowan, Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon. Yeah, please have a try if you're really interested in that. I think you won't be disappointed. If you are now disgusted at the view that you are seeing, please remember the last session. When we assume that Sharon Tate is a CIA asset. Her father is a CIA asset. Roman Polanski has ties to the CIA. And many, many, many other things. Then this is a ritual which been sold as a ritual at home. It is a media ritual to have people been in fear, put in fear that could happen to you in your home. Yeah, they are relentless killers outside, satanic-driven killers outside, and these people, they had absolutely no chance, except that everything it has to do here with the killing, the Manson family ritual, happens to be a media ritual. Why? There are certain calendars, for example, the Thelemic calendar of Aleister Crowley, where 1969 was a decade where it ended about the High Priestess, and that's the end of the 60s. Yeah, so moon landing was just happening officially. So we know if they have lied to you with the moon landing, yeah, what shall convince me that they have not lied about the Sharon Tate ritual, but they haven't lied about 9/11, etc. So there are also some things happening. 69 was the end of the decade. And for me personally, I think that 69 should end the end of the hippie and the end of the anti-war movement against the Vietnam War. That means that there are other agendas happening, for example, on solstice and all the stuff. So they are being really careful how to look for any date. And if you really see that the government is lying to you with the ritual of Apollo 11 as being a Freemason ritual, because here Edward, so-called Buzz Aldrin, is a high-ranking, at that time 32 and after that 33-degree Freemason. Yeah, it is a Freemason ritual. What shall convince me that 3 weeks later wasn't a ritual as well? The best comment that I ever saw under that line of events where supposedly these are the biggest heroes of the United States. Look at their faces, facial expressions, that somebody says, I've seen happier guys at a funeral. Yeah, depends on who's spirit, huh? So, many websites are claiming Polanski and Tate were just actors in the CIA project of Laurel Canyon. Imagine when the fearless vampire killers were present with that picture of Sharon Tate, they were also acting. It's 1967, so that is 2 years before. Yeah, so they are also acting. Yeah, so we are talking about 2 actors here, Polanski and Tate. Sharon Tate is the eldest of 3 daughters to Colonel Paul James Tate, a United States Army officer, and his wife. The family is of English, Swiss, oh, I said interesting, and of French descent. She played a role in the Satanic movie Eye of the Devil, the year Anton LaVey founded the Church of Satan in San Francisco. Remember, the reference here is Eagles Hotel California, a movie with Donald Pleasance. And also 69 is in occultism, is 69 the number of cancer. Yeah, so it looks like the scissors of the animal Cancer and also of the tropical sign of Cancer, because there is a relation between Saturn and the Tropic of Cancer. 69 is the number of Cancer. Yeah, I know 69 is also sexual position, but it's just about here the occult meaning of about it. Yeah, and Cancer, the zodiac sign, the ruler is the moon, so feminine or water on that. Yeah, so it is about the feminization of men and masculation of women, and that's happening quite recently here, also in Europe. Yeah, 1969, also the date where ARPANET has been started. This is the predecessor to Internet. ARPANET has been at universities in California, Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, Stanford Research University, Stanford Research Institute, computer, and this is just an army project, this ARPANET. It's a division of the United States Department of Defense. Yeah, that's where Internet or ARPANET comes from. Yeah, so it just serves the purpose of a modern inquisition. So they know what you are thinking, what you are busy with, what you would like to have, what you are ordering. Yeah, by just controlling the Internet or the alternative reality. Satan cannot create anything on himself because he's not God. Yeah, so he just creates an artificial world, and that's the internet or the digital age, digital world, yeah, or transhumanism or the robots, and it's just all artificial.
Comment.
Yes.
Satan is a usurper.
Yes.
He wishes to take God's creation and use it for his own purpose. And of course, he gets away with it because he's allowed to have followers. He's allowed to have all his fallen ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's all being allowed to happen. Why? That's something we need to ask. Why? Why is it happening? I think that it says clearly in the Bible why it's happening.
Mm-hmm. Why it has to happen.
Yes. Yes. So Michael and I have talked about this for a long, long period of time, how things have to go according to script. Everyone has to be on script. This is life and death. Or death, I should say. Life or death. Because if you go off script, you're in a very, very bad position. And a lot of us are in that, whether we know it or not. I know I was, still am, perhaps to some degree, but I try my best, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Listeners, we just got to try our best. And sometimes it's not good enough. You need to take a break, get up tomorrow, and start over again. That's all we can do. Day by day.
I think the problem is that people take the Satanism as normal nowadays, because it is
absolutely because it's such a, this is the beast that comes out of the bottomless pit. Look how powerful he is today.
Yes. And he's been worshipped, of course. All these people are running around with their smartphones and their tablets. They can't live without them.
Well, it all depends on how you interpret the scriptures. You see? And if you can, the Bible's only 66 books, and there's so many other Bibles and so many other texts that are outside that realm. Yes, there is. But there's a reason for that. At least I believe there is, Michael.
It will be as in the days of Noah. And when you then know that in the days of Noah everything was a total mess and everything was totally corrupt, then we are heading towards the same situation. And that's not a bad thing, actually, because it's just Bible prophecy fulfilling.
Yeah, that's right. And that's really the best position to be in, is to be in a position where you can read your scripture and know that, okay, these things have passed, but the end has not come yet. And when it does come, you know what the scriptures say. You're informed. You don't need any other man to tell you, because when he tells you, he might get it wrong. And what do you do when you believe a liar? You become a liar yourself. Because you believe it. That's why it says so clearly, let no man deceive you. Let no man deceive you. That's what our motto should be. Do your own research and let no man deceive you. Because that's exactly what's happening today. Men are being deceived, and they're deceiving others, and they're not even allowed to recognize the deception. It's transparent. It's because it's normalized. Pre-programming on a degree that is inconceivable in modern view. You have to do a historical, you have to just, it's tough. It's not easy. Not saying this is easy. But yeah, Michael.
The problem is that people don't dare to question the narrative. They are just being allowed to just debate minor issues, but they don't
That
question the
reminds me of
narrative.
Scripture, Michael. Exactly what it says in the Bible. Exactly what it says when it says about the beast. Who can make war with him? Remember? You look it up. Who can make war?
That's it. You only have to question the entire narrative, like at the moon landing. Yeah, you see, if you see the pictures, if you are being equipped with some kind of physics and this stuff, and then you can question the things. But if you're just only allowed to question some shadows or all the stuff, that won't get you anywhere. You have to question everything, because if you really
yes, Revelation 13:4, Michael. And they worship the dragon. They worship Satan, which gave power unto the beast. Yeah, Satan is giving power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? That's what the media is saying today, isn't it? You can't fight the CIA. Oh, but you can.
It's just
you can expose them, right, Michael?
We are not wrestled with flesh and blood.
Yes.
Yeah, the chains that the invisible government is putting on you is a mental chain.
Yeah, Revelation 13. You should know it by heart. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. Yeah, the Pope. And all his bishops.
Every pagan ruler. You see, every pagan ruler, every head of any religious community, because we are all brothers. Who can there be somebody who's supreme? That's not biblical. The Pope is not biblical. Yeah, he not is as the Antichrist.
He's the usurper.
Yes, he's
Satan
the usurper.
In another garb.
In the Bible, there is no hierarchy. They are just elders. Okay, that's it.
The man of sin, as it says in 2 Thessalonians, the son of perdition.
Yeah.
The little horn of Daniel.
Yes.
Yeah, the dragon in Revelation. The dragon.
Yeah. The dragon I personalize for Satan when he's just having his or for Lucifer actually, when he's just putting down the third of the angels, when he's just rebelling against God, when he's just in the heavenly room. Yeah, then he's a dragon. When he's just on the earth in a materialistic way and on the earth, deceiving people, for me he's the serpent. Then you see there's a hierarchy, because usually you can also depict the dragon as a winged serpent,
and that's why the beast is at such a high point right now. And who can make war with him? See,
only the people who are in the Spirit of Christ, in the Holy Spirit. Because it is a spiritual war, according to Ephesians. It is not that the tanks are rolling outside and the rockets are being fired. It's just to delude people, deceive people, that they will not enter the kingdom of God. But it's just the plan of God. I think the condition must be worse, so that some people will find at least to God when they have lost everything of their material, stripped of their material possessions. Because then Mammon has no power over them anymore. There is nothing else but the faith and the mercy of God when it comes down, for example, for life-threatening situations or illnesses. Yeah, all the money is absolutely useless if there is nobody who can cure you. There's so many things that just this world is just trying to create the illusion that you can all your problems with money. Actually, money starts your more problems than it solves. But it's just me, or it's just the other people. The older I get, the more relaxed I am, because I see that everything which is running in the world is absolutely according to biblical prophecy.
Yeah, and I think that's where Michael and I want to take our sessions after the Satanic Media Agenda is done. But I think it serves a purpose. We're sending out a beacon into the world, a beacon of light. That we're supposed to be salt to the world. We're supposed to be something that gives the lost sheep of Israel hope again. That's what our goal is. Our goal. To be a servant of the Most High, in my personal opinion, is that you just say it like it is, brother and sister. Say it like it is. Don't be afraid of man. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom.
When the angels were visiting Lot in the city of Sodom, there weren't any righteous people except Lot and his wife and the daughters, and even his wife turned around and could not
she
make
turned
it.
into a pillar of
salt. Yeah.
Yeah, salt.
And she didn't make it because she was so chained to Mammon, actually.
Chained to the practice.
Yeah.
Can we just say that? We have a routine that each of us go through, and we get so involved with it that's all we think about.
Yeah, and the people, everything is mixed around. They think that is a fairy tale here, but they are selling you Hollywood stuff for real. That's really interesting. You see that it's every time that I've really been astonished when I see how successful the people are into visiting concerts, going to the cinema and looking at all the trash that being bombarded to them and being sold as the new normal. Yeah. But I would say that just we move on because it's just late here. The sun is going down, and we will have.
Sure, let's finish up.
I think we will have many biblical related things in the future. I think that maybe we have without any topic. We are just talking about the Bible in the future. Without any topic. Yeah, because then we will be led by the Holy Spirit. Yeah, and not by our own pleasures and our own thoughts, but just maybe we just talk about the current situation, because in the future I just want to encourage people more and not to present all that Satanism.
Only if God allows it, and it's not just God we're dealing with here. We're dealing with YouTube.
Yeah.
And that system is bound to fail at any moment. At any moment. So we are reliant on the powers that be to allow these podcasts, these discussions to go up on YouTube. And as everyone knows, there's so much suppression happening these days, it's not even funny. Things are being suppressed on purpose because they cannot afford to have a revival.
They are on a mission.
Right, exactly. And they have their Jesuits in YouTube. Plenty of them.
Yeah. The first ARPANET link, so internet, started on the 21st of November, so that is close to the occult bridge of Scorpio and Sagittarius, 22nd, 21st. That's maybe also not a coincidence. Huh? But
isn't the 21st of December, isn't that the
that's winter solstice, yeah?
That's solstice.
Winter solstice, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you see, Satanism, Black Sabbath, and all these groups, they have been named after horror movies and all this, they are so, everything satanic. It's very successful in the satanic world, of course. Yeah, 1969, Cancer and Saturn. this is just very satanic. And 69 was a very high prolific year for Satanism, huh? Obviously. Yeah.
Interesting. That was the year I was born.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, no worries. It's just, it seems like everything I try and do in life is so awkward because the world is awkward, Michael. It's just that simple.
I looked up the ephemeridis table. I do not know what is the correct name. Swiss ephemeridis. So the zodiac table where all these planets are moving inside that artificial zodiac. And it's very interesting that the murder from Sharon Tate happened from the 8th to the 9th, close to midnight. And close to midnight, the moon, we're talking about Cancer, 69, huh? That's the two scissors of the animal Cancer, yeah, is then exactly on 0 degrees, so it's approaching Cancer. Moon is approaching Cancer on midnight, the 9th of August. Maybe that's the reason why they have chosen that date. I know that I'm just a little bit biased because I have dealt with astrology for more than 20 years in my life before I just realized that it is forbidden in the Bible. But nevertheless, I just wanted to expose all the things, and therefore I just looked it up here and I said, oh, that's very strange, huh? Look, when supposedly it was around midnight or close after midnight, and that is the exact point when the moon was just in Cancer, yeah? So Cancer is 69, yeah? If you would tilt it now 90 degrees, you would see here 69, yeah? You see that? Can you know? Do you know what I mean, Brett?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's also very interesting date then. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, that Laurel Canyon, Benedict Canyon, Cielo Drive is very close to Mulholland Drive. The most exclusive and expensive homes in the world, and of course to a very, very dangerous road, and of course to a movie of David Lynch. Of course, Mulholland Drive. Everyone knows that.
Well, yeah, Michael. It's interesting you bring up the topic of astrology from time to time, since you've studied it so thoroughly. I really have never met anyone like yourself that has studied it so thoroughly, other than maybe one other person, acquaintance from a long time ago. But the thing of it is, though, that really intrigues me about astrology is this concept of actually having a something that at one time in history was pure and was perverted so badly that I think that's why the Bible strictly forbids it, is because at one time those, from what I understand, from what I've researched, there were star charts that actually meant something.
And the problem is that
were
everything
perverted.
Yeah, the problem is that everything has
Babel.
a certain meaning, but it's only revealed to God what the meaning actually is. The problem with astrology is actually that you see the stars and the planets as God, so that they create
it's
something.
Mythology. It's mythology.
Yeah,
right,
so you don't
right.
worship the creator God, but
And
you
isn't
worship
that interesting?
his
Yeah,
creation.
I'm sorry, but it's like we're in an inverted world, Michael. This world we live in is so inverted so badly that they often refer to biblical teachings as myths today, when in history it was the exact opposite. The Bible cleared everything up, and now they're flipping it around. Oh, since you believe the Bible, then you believe myths, huh? See, that's how people are today. It's sad. It's really sad. But when you study the history behind all of this, you just, no wonder no one studies it, Michael. It's very, very frustrating. Very sad.
Everything is interconnected. If you start with music, you will find
Inverted,
links to science.
Pervert.
when you start politics, you will find links to the church, but in the end, all roads lead to Rome.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's a Laurel Canyon. It's Roman laurels. Yeah.
There's a town I've been working in just south of me, Michael, called Stillwater, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all these Roman names in Stillwater. They even have a Laurel Avenue or a Laurel Street or something. I saw that the other day. I was like, oh, I should take a picture of it, send it to Michael.
Yeah, it's always, you see, here's the sunset. The sun has been worshipped here. You have Laurel, it's Roman. Then you have Kirkwood, that's the Celtic for church. Yeah.
Oh, yes, Kirk, yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Frank Zappa, who was related to the United States Army. Rainbow is also associated not only to the Bible but to occult.
Well, that's because the United States is a military country.
Somewhere over the rainbow, yeah.
Yeah, it's the military center of the world, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that all these people who are living there in Laurel Canyon, yeah, these are all. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. I do not. When I do research, I research left and right, and I dig kind of deep sometimes. And all these people, William Shatner, Captain Kirk means Captain Church in the Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek, of course, is the track of the fallen ones, no, of the fallen angels. Yeah, so he was playing a part of Incubus. Yeah, Incubus usually is a demon. A sexually demon also. It's where to start, yeah? So I have looked everything up and murder everywhere. What do we expect from all these people? What do we expect? You see, in every kind of a theme where I'm going into, you see that, I said, no, not again and not again, and I see all the things. And all these actors, they are liars. They are just obeying Mammon. And Mammon is nothing else than Satan, because Satan rules over all the kingdoms of the world, which he has committed to even Jesus Christ. So come on, what's the point? Yeah. Every time I'm confronted with death. So when I try to look for Bruce Lee, then I realize I find myself in the United States as well. And all the things start to come all over again. Yeah, it's all a secret code, but they're all in it, and they're all been financed by the government. Yeah, sometimes I'm not convinced that they write their own songs. Yeah, maybe there are also some very high-profile writers writing their songs just to promote the band. Because
there's all kinds of things going on. That's very true. Yeah. Actually, producers will. There are song sharks too that actually go around. Taking other people's work, and if they're not copywritten, it's free game. Anyone can take it. Or you need to actually publish your work. Who's got the money to publish their work? And then you have to have legal representation in court of law to it's just ridiculous.
Every time when I see something is called a one-hit wonder. One hit is the hit that the fallen angels made by the impact by falling down from heaven to earth. Yeah, so that's a hit. Yeah, one-hit wonder. Yeah, that means that somebody is responsible for the inspiration of writing a hit or a famous song. Why isn't he capable of repeating that? Yeah, so one-hit wonder for me looks like it's staged, it's like an agenda. I'm not referring here to Beach Boys or so, but there are many one-hit wonders. For example, Carl Douglas with "Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting." So that was written, yeah, and never heard of that actor anymore. So he served his purpose in the agenda, and everything has to serve the agenda. That would also be my closing comment, but we have to go further. See, all these dates are being just chosen, not by random, but on purpose. Like the 21st of November, or like what I said, when the moon is just approaching Cancer on midnight, when the Sharon Tate ritual happened. So, for example, the 1st of December, the debut album of Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, was being published then. And it's the same date, the 1st of December, when Crowley contacted his so-called holy guardian angel at Boleskine House near Loch Ness at Scotland. That's the same house that Jimmy Page bought. So everything serves a certain purpose. There is nothing in here by accident. Nothing. Yeah? Satanism in Pepperland. Pepper means it's like Sergeant Pepper's means the devil's potion. Yeah, so it's coming also from Rosemary's Baby. That's a famous movie that Roman Polanski has made 1 year before Sharon Tate officially died in her house. Yeah, so everything serves a purpose. Also the Beatles are serving a purpose. Oh, we're starting as a cheerful boy band, love, love me do. And later on we introduce you in marijuana, in LSD, in Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, in transcendental meditation. And then we have long beards and we are also for the peace movement. It's all an agenda. And I don't know if they have written their songs themselves. I don't know. And I don't care, because I know they're only serving a purpose. To distract the people, to get busy with entertainment, with useless music, yeah, and to distract the people from the truth. By every means, Satan does not care if you go to the movies or if you just listen to the radio, yeah, as long as you don't listen to the Word of God and you don't read the Bible. That's the only sole purpose on entertainment. And that's why I'm sick of it. I'm just doing it because I think I found very interesting links to things that you see that really everything is combined. And in the end, the only thing what makes sense is to read the Bible, because that's the truth. Everything else is a lie in this world.
Yeah. You would wonder, Michael, I wonder, actually, why don't the people ever get sick of it and say enough of this?
Because they are being used, they're being educated with it to see it as normal. Oh, we're just celebrating Easter, we're celebrating Santa Claus, we're celebrating what else?
It's the fall of man, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the fall of man.
If something is passed on as a tradition
gods.
For thousands of years, it's very hard to get away from that.
Yes.
Because you will be excluded from the society. That's what God said, that you have to exclude yourself from the word. You have to be not a part of it. You are living in the word, but you're not a part of that word.
Right. Be not a part of it. Yeah, that's the instruction.
So when the Manson family rented a home, they named it Jello Submarine after a famous or infamous comic movie with the Blue Meanies, who has always not this satanic hand gesture then, not in this things, but they just rented this. Yeah, that was a yellow submarine. That does not remind me of a submarine, sorry. So it has another meaning. Yeah? So the resemblance to the Beatles already. Yeah, before they have in 22nd of November 1968, exactly 5 years after the assassination of John F. Kennedy, they presented their so-called White Album. White means spirit, so it's a spiritual message. So, and then later on they moved finally to Spahn's ranch. But that's not the entire truth. Yeah, Spahn was 80 years old and going blind at the time when he decided to let the Manson family move in and use the property. Oh, I said, interesting, let's look at the property. And now we're getting to the comedy section here. Oh, and you thought that would be a serious, easy feat. The agreement was that the family could live here and help keep up and running, and they did calls on a daily basis and helped him, and secretly plotting their gruesome helter-skelter murder campaign. Yeah, so that's it again, yeah. You've been framed, if you believe it. You've been framed. Because this story does not match. Or this story deserves a second look. Yeah? That is the home of the infamous Manson satanic bestiality, killer, gruesome ritual murders. Can you read what I read? It's Spahn's movie ranch. I said, oh, it's great. Spahn's movie ranch. So people from a Spahn's movie ranch are heading out to murder an actress from a director. I said, oh, that's much Hollywood.
Interesting point of view you have, Michael.
I'm just reading what the titles say, Spahn's movie ranch.
That's right.
So usually this ranch was the location of actors. And out of a sudden, an 80-year-old guy, in exchange for sex, I have read, a blind man in exchange for sex have granted his ranch as a home for the people. And I said, now, Brett, stop it. Yeah, you only have to look at the pictures. Yeah, and I will enlarge it so that you really see what's going on. Yeah, if you really believe the official narrative, yeah, sorry, I'm out of that. Can you read what's being depicted on that famous Manson family murder bus?
Hollywood Pictures or something? What?
Hollywood production.
Can't see it. The woman's standing right in front of it.
Yeah, but you see how clearly Hollywood here, yeah? And then you see the P and you see here UCTOROTIO. Yeah, so Hollywood production. So these people, do they look like bestiality murders here? If they would have more decent clothes on it and a decent haircut, maybe you have to ask Jay Sebring, then you could put these people as fashion models. Come on, they're not ugly. So we are supposed to believe that these people are the bestiality murders who have slaughtered Sharon Tate, yeah? They are living in a Spahn's movie ranch and are driving a bus called Hollywood Productions and are driving to Cielo Drive to a home of an actress from a movie director. Wow. You have to have a big imagination. And the main actor, they are coming here from Charles Manson. I can't write correctly at that late hour here. Charles Manson. That was the Antichrist. Yeah, and the main murder was Tex Watson, but that was just the attribution because Spahn, that old guy, said, "Oh, you're behaving like a Texan." What else? You're coming from Texas, but that was not his original name. The original name was not Tex Watson, but Charles Watson. So Charles Manson and Charles Watson. Yeah, and these people are driving in a bus called Hollywood Productions in Hollywood and driving to the home of a famous actress of Hollywood. Oh, I said, okay, these people remind me of Charlie's Angels.
Oh, jeez.
It's Hollywood production. It's Hollywood production. Charlie's Angels, it's what was not my original idea, was scripted after the Manson cult. It's Hollywood, Charles Manson and Charles Watson, Charlie's Angels. And Charlie is also the name or the attribution of the United States soldiers in Vietnam. Think of all these coincidences there. Clearly, they are working for the government here. And in Charlie's Angels, yeah, you see... They have even an episode when these Charlie's Angels were sent to jail. Do they look as they fear to be executed? Because in 1969 in California, they had the death penalty. And you really believe they are being allowed to have drugs in jail or what? You really believe it? You really believe it? I say there's a story behind that story, and I'm not the only one. Yeah. I think that is very interesting coincidences here, huh? Yeah, you see, there's a certain mysterious Charlie who's giving the orders. Nobody knows him, but he's giving the orders from remote.
Oh, what a weird situation it is. But true, Michael. Very true.
So in 1969, Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski moved to Cielo Drive at the date of the solar eclipse in 1961. Yeah, solar eclipses are also very infamous for astrological consultations, because then a point of the so-called zodiac is not enlightened but darkened, so it's a bad omen. So the date of the solar eclipse in 61. In her first movie, Barabbas, what a coincidence, yeah, they bought at the 15th of February, the date of the solar eclipse, they bought that house. Yeah, sorry, that's very far-fetched, I know, yeah, but it's true, actually, that it was then a future solar eclipse then. But it's just, it's too much information. Yeah, so everything has to do with dates and symbology. 702, the number of John Lennon's Yoko Ono, bet in for peace. Yeah, there's also a bet in Space Odyssey. You see, everything is planned.
That black
Obelisk.
monolith. Yes,
yeah.
it represents the obelisk, right?
Yes. Yeah, can you imagine then it was a few years ago when all of a sudden, so to speak, all these black obelisks appearing out of nowhere and disappeared out of nowhere.
Right. In the United States.
In the United States, yeah. So the obelisk has taken over.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this was really interesting, Michael. You know, I don't normally recommend that people go find old William Bill Cooper videos, but he did a really good breakdown of 2001, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He did.
Yeah, he did not live long after this review also.
Yeah, right.
It's like Dave McGowan, yeah, he published his works and out of a sudden he was getting cancer. The official story, you see that you never know what happened there. It's very sad because he's very, very smart mind, I think. Yeah, so if his real name is Dave McGowan, you see that you can question everything. So the ballad of John and Yoko was also made by the appearance of the Rolls Royce of Sharon Tate. Yeah, so that's like Bruce Lee. Yeah, also wanted to have the Rolls Royce, like Muhammad Ali. So when you are the greatest, you want to drive the greatest or the biggest or the luxurious or the most mammon car there is. Huh? That's what Bruce Lee said. When the Rolls Royce arrives, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to drive down to the waterfront and call Roman Polanski, that is the husband of Sharon Tate, and Steve McQueen on the car phone. And when they ask where I'm calling from, I say from the back seat of my Rolls Royce overlooking the junks in Hong Kong Harbor, which is nothing more than to be supreme, overlooking the junks in Hong Kong Harbor. I'm better than you. So that's his attitude. And I think that is his attitude which got him killed in the end. Overdoing it in any sense of the word, overdoing it, showing off. I really admire
there you go. That's what his profession was, showing off, Michael. Yeah. So he didn't know how to stop.
Yeah.
He couldn't keep it to himself, I think, is what you're saying, Michael. Because if you can achieve some kind of what would you say?
Status.
Well, let's say it wasn't status, just for sake of argument, okay? Let's say he really did want to pursue having a production company. He could have, I'm not saying he would have, obviously he didn't, keep it to himself. Because if he would have kept it to himself and not made all this big show of, oh, I will, you know, writing this my true purpose, or whatever, what was it called again?
My definite chief aim.
My definite chief aim. I mean, you don't have to tell the world what your definite chief aim is. You can keep it to yourself.
The problem is
it's strategy, right? He wasn't very strategic, Michael. He made a fool of himself. It's easy to do when you're an actor, I would
we
imagine.
will find out. There are 600 pages on Bruce Lee alone for his for the last half years of his life. You cannot imagine what's been depicted there, because you then see all the things coming together. At least many things coming together. Many pieces of the puzzle are coming together. Many pieces. Yeah. You see, there are many pages who are just dealing with the worldly effect on that ritual.
Or the exoteric.
Yeah, so I'm not going into this. In the biography of Kirk Douglas called The Vows of Spartacus on page 315, we find a quote: Jay Sebring and the pregnant Sharon Tate were killed by Charles Manson and his family in the Bel Air slaughter in 1969. Jay went with Sharon Tate before Roman Polanski did. There was talk that their romance still continued, even that the baby might have been Jay's. I knew Sharon Tate, beautiful, naive young girl. Yeah, murdered innocence, huh? Yeah, the shocking story was the sort of thing you read in fiction, see in movies. It doesn't happen to people you know, yeah. Another actor telling you another story, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. It was incomprehensible, even if a lot of it was drugs. Jay was a tremendous guy. My barber now, Little Joe, was Jay's 18-year-old protege then. 18, interesting. Okay, that's so far Kirk Douglas. On page 390, Comrade Douglas, Poland. I had to give a talk in Lodz of the famous cinema school that Roman Polanski had attended. So you see that they are all interconnected. Yeah, this is from the biography Roman by Polanski. Between orgies of film going, we hung around and prospected in the places that mattered. As usual, the terrace of the Carlton Hotel was a prime rendezvous for all who wished to see and be seen. The youngish American was particularly conspicuous there. He always seemed to be surrounded by a bevy of lovely girls, tall and dark with slightly projecting teeth. He had a relaxed feet on the desk American manner. He introduced himself as Victor Lowndes, a partner of Hugh Hefner's in the Playboy organization, and he brought me a drink on the spot. If I ever came to London, where he was launching Playboy's European operation, I was to look him up without fail. It's all a big community. Roman said, being an agnostic, however, I no more believed in Satan as evil incarnate than I believed in a personal God. The whole idea conflicted with my rational view of the world. That does not surprise anybody, I think. He says, there is at least one error in Bugliosis. There's the persecutor in the trial, otherwise admirable, accurate account. Helter Skelter takes the Los Angeles Police Department to task for failing to follow up a lead that might have exposed the Manson family earlier, a lead based on similarities between the deaths at Cielo Drive and that of Gary Hinman, a music teacher murdered 10 days earlier, also by Manson followers. Bob Helder was well aware of this, however. He told me, very soon after we first met, of a possible lead involving a bunch of hippies living in the Chatsworth area under a commune leader, a crazy guy who calls himself Jesus Christ. Manson, of course. I distinctly recall my lukewarm response to this information. That's just your anti-hippie bias, I said. I had no idea, of course, how close Helder had been, etc. Roman Polanski comes from Old English and of or pertaining to ancient Rome. Huh? Roman Polanski.
How much more obvious can you get?
Yeah, he's not responsible for his name, but you can guess that he's coming from a Catholic family.
Yes.
Yeah, Roman Polanski would mean actually the Polish Roman.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
By the way, that's not his native name.
Yeah, but Poland did go the way of the Counter-Reformation. Although there was a lot of resistance, there was a lot of... It could have gone either way, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, my point is here, we are coming in the next session to Roman Polanski. His original name is Raymond Thierry Liebling. Liebling in German would be the equivalent in English would be darling. Yeah, why do you change your name to Polanski? It has to do officially with the second World War that he wanted not to be recognized as a Jew. Yeah, so Polanski. Interesting. Yeah, but not Roman. Yeah, you see, Roman Raymond Polanski. He was been born as Raymond Thierry Liebling. So there is no Roman and there is no Polanski. These are just little things, but nevertheless, I just look at these things.
Wait, he changed his name to Roman?
Yes.
He didn't have the name.
No, his name is Raymond Thierry Liebling.
Oh, wow. Oh, and he's from Paris.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a French citizen. I think he's got a French citizenship and Polish citizenship, and he's living in Switzerland, of course. Remember when we talked about Sharon Tate that he also had Swiss origins?
Yes.
It's just a big coincidence.
Yeah, interesting coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah, there are much more coincidences coming up. So this is Sharon Tate, Miss Richland, 1959, age 16, by the way. So 1 year before she was riding on a rocket for the United States Army. Oh, murdered innocents. Totally innocent. Come on, guys. So you see, then I'm not showing you all the pictures of Playboy, but you see, it's just Playboy, huh? Happy Easter.
Happy Ishtar.
Happy Ishtar, Roman. Oh, you wait and see what will come up. There's so much coming up now. And this is a book I came across by listening to several YouTube videos from a certain Tom O'Neill. O'Neill sounds Scottish, by the way. Here so, Scottish have something to do with Freemason. Not telling you that this very likable man has something to do with it, but just to mention it. That book is called Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s. Yeah, and he's making very interesting remarks. According to his story, he has done decades of research in that. He said that the CIA tested drugs on people without their awareness, especially in jail. And when you can recollect that Charles Manson spent the majority of his life in jail, then he was being portrayed by Tom O'Neill as a kind of a LSD guinea pig. He said, paid by the CIA, it's called a limited hangout guy. In Roman Polanski, who films for errantly, even proudly occultist, the public found someone onto whom it could project its fatalism. A popular press account said that mere minutes before he learned of the murders, Polanski at a party in London had been discussing a friend's death. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, he said, who will be the next to go? With that, the phone rang, and he was summoned to hear that his wife and friends had been brutally murdered. Can you believe it? That sounds Hollywood. To me, that sounds Hollywood, sorry. So much Hollywood, yeah? When Tom O'Neill speaks of Operation Chaos, CIA involvement into Charles Manson, he's speaking about Operation Chaos. That means technologically operations, tactics, techniques, and procedures, the anti-war mood, and to destroy all these anti-war movements to proceed with the Vietnam War. That sounds reasonable to be part of Operation Chaos, to spread chaos. And what better than to have these world-famous actors and high designated peaceful Laurel Canyon, and then to have a bestiality murder by some weirdos and satanic people, and Sharon Tate in it. So people were talking about the moon landing in '69 when they should be talking about the Chippewa accident of Ted Kennedy, but that was overshadowed by the moon landing. And then so Sharon Tate's murder and the Manson family overshadowed everything that has to do with Vietnam. And when her father has been officially been operated by the United States Army, then you see, you counter things together. Counterintelligence movement. Yeah, you can get on and on and on. COINTELPRO, so counterintelligence memo proposing a plan to expose the pregnancy of actress Jean Seberg, a financial supporter of the Black Panther Party. That was the party that was the official opposition of Charles Manson with his white supremacy or his racist. Yeah, and the Black Panther has something to do with the COINTELPRO Operation Chaos. Yeah, you see so many coincidences there. My. This is a very famous picture here, a tragic trip to the house on the hill. Roman Polanski with the blood here, the blood of Sharon Tate, and then the pig on the door. Officially with the blood of Sharon Tate. This is the official narrative. And I'm not making myself funny about every murder or violence. No, it's... The pig and blood on the door is a big Black Panther slang from the Manson family, creating an own anti-war movement in Los Angeles' Laurel Canyon. And this incident here was just distracting the people into believing that there is a satanic cult, or many satanic cults in an inner and an outer process church, and these satanic bike riders and Satanism everywhere. Mm-hmm. And therefore, people only wanted to have peace. Yeah, like John Lennon and his famous LSD guy, Timothy Leary, who happened to be a CIA asset also, because he could escape from prison with the help of the so-called weatherman. I know that from memory. And then he recorded an album with Ashra Temple in a certain European country where he then fled. Can you guess which country, Brad?
Italy?
Oh, no. Second guess. Close.
Oh boy. Oh,
close.
Gee. You got me.
CIA, Catholics in Action. Which country except Italy?
Switzerland?
Yes, sure. Switzerland.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Italian
You
elf.
escape as a convicted criminal. You escape from the United States to Switzerland. Oh, Brad, come on. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Really, you see that every time I'm looking people up. It's not that I feel myself in a strange position, but you see that I've done so many sessions and I know these things from memory, and I know that he's a CIA asset. Yeah, nobody escapes from that and hides himself in Switzerland. And come on.
Except the Swiss Guard.
Except Swiss Guard. Oh, you're under protection, yeah? Timothy Leary, yeah? So, Switzerland. Yeah? The remnants of Black Panther parties in Nigeria. Then he fled to Algeria. Short stay. Blah, blah, blah. In 1971, the couple fled to Switzerland. Oh, maybe they have then met Roman Polanski, because out of a sudden, Roman Polanski in 1970s also was in Switzerland. But what do I know? Oh. But it will get much, much weird. You see, these people are just laughing in your face. They know exactly what they are going to do. Yeah, so it's so
peace when there is no peace.
Yeah, peace for the wicked.
Yeah, that's right.
Revolution, evolution, masturbation, flagellation, regulation, integration, meditations, United Nations, congratulations. Yeah? Give peace a chance. Timmy Leary, that's the LSD Pope that just have fled. Rosemary, like Rosemary's Baby. Bobby Dylan, all these people are being mentioned here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, give peace a chance. So what kind of peace is it? Peace for Hare Krishna, huh? Peace for an antichrist.
Peace for
God.
Paganism, yeah. Peace for pagans.
Yes. Yeah, it's the same. Like you see, this guy, this John Lennon, who said that the Beatles are bigger than Jesus. This guy has also imagine what kind of car John Lennon had. Come on.
Like Pope Francis?
No.
Just kidding.
If he is bigger than Jesus, what only car can he drive?
Rolls
Royce, yeah, sure. Yeah, he's anti-establishment. He's been sold as anti-establishment, but he's driving a Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Along with John Lennon, or I'm sorry, Paul McCartney.
With Muhammad Ali and with so many people, huh? Yeah, so imagine John Lennon, 1971. Imagine there's no heaven. So, over and out. He's an
Yeah, right.
agnostic like
Spirit of Antichrist.
Roman Polanski. Yes, no hell below us, above us only sky. Or what's the name of sky in Spanish and Italian again? Cielo. Like Cielo Drive. Imagine all the people living for today. So don't worry about the future. Just live. Have a little bit drugs and alcohol and what else?
Live and let live, as they say.
No religion. And what does he say here?
I can't stand the song. I really don't like the song.
I know, but I just have a hard time with my eyes now.
Yeah, it's sickening. And no religion, yeah.
Yeah, but he's speaking about no possession too. Where is that? There it is. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. Okay. Yeah, imagine no possession. Oh, that was a few years later, and then he was anti-establishment or what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You see, it's so futile. So, laughing right in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you have Rosemary, and by the way, that John Lennon officially was shot in the Dakota Hotel where Rosemary's Baby from Polanski has been made, and then he was shot by a guy allegedly by MK Ultra, Catcher in the Rye, and you have to believe that story as well. Yeah, so that guy is not only a director but also an actor. And of course, he can play very believable when he just announced the death of his lovely wife, murdered innocent Sharon Tate. A director, he said, was going to stay at the house. Sure, that was Wojciech Frykowski. He was also a director and a screenwriter. And I said, oh, that is interesting. Now you have an actress, Sharon Tate. You have a director who the house is belonging to, and the husband of the murdered actress. The Roman Polanski, and then you have a second director who is on the spot and is a screenwriter too. I said, wow, Hollywood, more Hollywood. And somebody said here, terrible actor, hell of a director, absolute monster. Yeah. And somebody said, it's a PSYOP 101, Colonel Tate and former Major Folger, both Intel officers. So that means that the next victim, the alleged girlfriend of Wojciech Frykowski, the director and screenwriter, was a heiress to the Folger's coffee fortune and her dad also was a former Major Folger, both intelligence officers working behind the scenes while daughters playing lead roles for Operation Chaos. Now it gets really interesting, huh? And people say, no, I can't believe it, you're hysterical, where did you get that stuff? Are you drugged or what? No, these people are just questioning the narrative, and that's what you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to do. Because if you would question the narrative, then you would have to have questioned the coroner, the LAPD, the news, and then you have to question your own view of the world. And people do not like that. Yeah? They just look at this as a loving couple, Jay Sebring and Sharon Tate. Yeah. Or Kermit and Miss Piggy. And if you don't get that joke, you will get that now. This is Miss Piggy. And Muppets started in 1975. The murder of Sharon Tate happened in 1969. You know, in 69, Cancer. Huh? On the exact night when the moon was in Cancer. And that is how could it be? The Rolls Royce of Sharon Tate. Look at the license plate. Can you see that? I can enlarge it a bit. Teeny tiny bit. Look at the license plate. It's called
PGY.
Yeah.
Piggy.
Miss Piggy. Sure. That's Miss Piggy. And look at the numbers. 33. Freemason. It's like 11. She was, of course, 8.5 months pregnant. 8 plus 1 plus 2 is 11. So we got the most famous number in Freemasonry, 11 and 33. We got it all together. Like in the ritual killing of Kennedy. The king is dead. Killing of the king. 22nd and 11 makes 33. So, and then PIG makes even more sense. Although I have seen people, or I have read people who say, okay, yeah, that also has another meaning, because that was not Sharon Tate's blood, but they used pig blood. Remember, he's an actor and a director affiliated somehow with the CIA. And his choice of name, Roman Polanski, is his own, most probably. And he's directing horror movies. And he's married officially with the daughter of a colonel of the United States Army. My. Pigs, like Pink Floyd, yeah? So PGY, yeah, Miss Piggy, 33. Pregnant Piggy. Murdered innocence, ne? Of course, Vietnam star. Everybody looks to the star, of course. Yeah, it's very prominent, the star. Yeah. And this is Roman Polanski as the funeral of Sharon Tate, with another attractive blonde. Sure, you can't live without when you are a playboy, huh? My. The Rolls Royce that Polanski bought for Sharon's birthday, I remember her pride when she took me for a ride in it, landed in Los Angeles the day after her murder. It was a silver cloud, yeah, cielo means sky, a silver cloud painted white with tinted windows for privacy. Piggy. Of course, you are totally under the radar if you drive a Rolls Royce. Sure. Nobody knows who you are. That's why you have tinted windows, because you got the famous license plate Piggy 330. Oh. Now he wants to give it away. Roman has given away everything that Sharon owed. He gave his own Ferrari car to Sharon's father, who was planning to retire from the army this year because it was Sharon's dream to buy him a sports car. Which means that during the time of the murder ritual of Sharon Tate, he was still in the army. All those stories that Shannon was on dope aren't true. She was not, at least not after she became pregnant and blah, blah, blah. She never drank. Of course, she was a saint. Yeah, she was murdered innocent. No, that's the frame. Roman gave the Ferrari to Dad and he drove it. Dad eventually sold it to a neighbor who was a collector and la 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 la. The Rolls Royce went to Roman's agent wife. Yeah. Everything has a certain meaning here. Yeah. The start of the moon landing, it's 777, the number of Apollo, and 777, the number of Aleister Crowley. The first 7 is obvious. 1 plus 6 is 7. What was the third one? 9, 10, 16 and 9. Also 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9 is 25, another 7. Yeah, it's never easy. Crowley, sex magic ritual to invoke Babylon, the rocket. Yeah, you see that OTO was the branch of Jack Parsons. Then JPL Laboratories. JPL Laboratories, they claim they can go to the Mars when they can't get to the moon. Yeah, rocket, phallus and crater, cup of Babylon. That's just a fertility ritual, male and female. That's it. And the moon crater is named after Jack Parsons' OTO ritual. It's all a ritual. 20th of the same day when they were on the moon, or not, or on the concrete. Also date, Sharon Tate took plane from London to LA while Polanski supposedly was in Europe at the time. Supposedly was in Europe. Yeah, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, playing Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, who will be the next to go. And that's the reaction of somebody who has just lost a friend, huh? Oh my, this is all... I can go on and on and on, but you see, I just only want to present a summary on it. The same day, on August 8, 1969, Salinas, California, cracked the 408 symbol cryptogram, the most dangerous game. I can't remember anything. By the way, the 8th of September is also the date of the atomic bomb. The alleged atomic bomb. It gets really complicated when you're doing sessions in another language for hours, you can tell you. Susan Atkins. Susan is a baby name Rosemary considers for her baby in the movie Rosemary's Baby. She was born in Dallas, Susan Atkins, where JFK was killed on the 33-degree parallel, like Nagasaki, also on the 33-degree parallel, where the atom bomb fell on August the 9th. Oh. Roman and Sharon lived just a few streets from the Process Church. You know that John Todd character who said that's the only cult he fears for his life. The Process Church has some ties to Manson. I said it's just a boogeyman like Al-Qaeda or ISIS. The Process Church, the final judgment. Yeah, you see, I think that these are all government organizations like the Church of Satan to distract from the real Satanic Church, which is the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. I think you got it. That's it.
Yeah. So Bobby Beausoleil has been convicted of murder. A friend of Cowley, follower Kenneth Anger, who has instructed that Lucifer Rising, Do What Thou Will, as their house in San Francisco, later been depicted as the Eagles as Hotel California. He played the role of Lucifer and was also a follower officially of Charles Manson, with the girlfriend of Mick Jagger as Lilith. Rolling Stones, that's why I say that, oh yeah, Rolling Stones are much in that. We will see later why. Leslie Van Houten has also been affiliated with the House of Orange, which would be a Freemason division. So Tate's home was at Cielo Drive, where I said the sky. Previously owned by Cary Grant, which is not his real name. Candice Bergen was the former owner of that. She was of that Cielo Drive house. She was present at Truman Capote Ball. They are all in that. So Sharon Tate, Hebrew, Tet, Greek, Theta, ninth letter, called serpent, and the womb, pregnant of a child named Paul Richard, the wife of Roman Polanski, if you believe that. Director of Rosemary's Baby. Roman means Roman Empire, of course. That's also my suggestion here. Like Vincent Puglisi. The media spreads pictures of her in Masonic pose, the Hanged Man. That's the Hanged Man, the tarot card. We have talked about that. On a rope, yeah. So, and allegedly Jay Sebring and Sharon Tate were on a rope. Yeah, that's a mass of OTO, and of course it's a depicted tarot card, the Hanged Man. Cielo Drive on the 8th of September 1969, which sums up to 42. 42, the number of actually the 3 generations, 14 each in the book of Matthew, but been used in the occult as the number of the Egyptian judges of the dead. The screenwriter who was present there was Wojciech Frykowski. And Mr. Frykowski, also, I have looked it up, has also very interesting ties. Of course, he was also Polish. And he was a screenwriter, yes. So all the people were there who were related to Hollywood or to movies, actually. So then Abigail and Folger, family known for coffee. And, of course, her father also happened to be, allegedly to one commentator, close ties to the intelligence community. And Jay Sebring, the hairdresser. He had invited actor Steve McQueen that night. Steve McQueen, you know, that's the biggest idol of Bruce Lee. Because Bruce Lee wanted to be bigger as Steve McQueen, because Steve McQueen was the biggest movie star of the 1960s. No, he had extremely cool movies like and successful movies like The Magnificent Seven, like Bullet, The Great Escape, and the like Getaway. He had invited actor Steve McQueen that night. By the way, Steve McQueen also drives Porsche. And that Porsche has been owned by Jay Sebring. That's why I say that the 9/11 Sharon Tate ritual has also to do with Jay Sebring, because he was also the hanged man, or actually he was the hanged man. If Sharon Tate was hanged, she would be the hanged woman. And so that is a 9/11 ritual, because that car was parked outside Cielo Drive. Cielo Drive. 10050, 1969. Yeah, there it is, Cielo Drive. Yeah, at least in black and white. Yeah, there you see that 911 Porsche of Jay Sebring. And by the way, this is Sharon Tate's dad with a Ferrari. Of course, when you are in the army, you drive a Ferrari. Yeah. 1969 also resembles Azazel, 9 9.69 kilometers per hour, the speed of Saturn. Interesting, huh? With an average orbital speed of 9.69 kilometers per second, that's incorrect here, per second, it takes Saturn 10 Earth days to complete a single revolution of the Sun. 10,000, sorry, a revolution of the Sun. So 969 also is a depiction of Saturn or Satan. Huh? Interesting. There's so many things you have to look for. In that White Album, for example, there's also backwards play, of course, which is satanic. Yeah, everything that is reversed is satanic. Number 9, number 9, number 9. So number 9 is also Revelation 9. So it's the bottomless pit. It's the angel of the bottomless pit is Saturn. Number 9, number 9, number 9. Yeah, and so there are also backtracks in that. You can learn everything about Revolution 9 song from the White Album on the Beatles Bible. Yeah, you see, it's a religious context.
Beatles Bible. Give me a
The
break.
loop of number 9 featured in a recording fueled the legend of Paul McCartney's death after it was reported that it sounded like Turn Me On Dead Man when played backwards. Yeah, they are making so fun of the people. Yeah. Prosecutor Vincent Bugliosi asserted that Charles Manson believed that many songs on the album The Beatles contained, also White Album, contained references confirming his prediction of an impending apocalyptic race war, a scenario dubbed Helter Skelter. Manson mentioned Revolution 9 more often than any of the other album tracks, and he interpreted it as a parody of Chapter 9 of the Book of Revelation, of Satan. Manson viewed the piece as a portrayal in sound of the coming black-white revolution. He misheard Lennon's distorted scream of right with Revolution 9 as a command to rise. You have to have a big belief in the government if you believe that official narrative. Yeah, somebody hears a Beatles song and he poses himself to be Jesus Christ and orders people to kill somebody. Wow, really?
Talk about indoctrination.
Yes. Yeah, Woodstock Festival, Rosemary Woodhouse, Wood Tree is Life of Osiris, Rosemary's Baby, Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, to the nitty-gritty. Star-Spangled Banger, but upside down. Famous picture of Sharon Tate murders with American flag. Note upside down. Upside down means death, huh? And this is a portrayal also you find at Jimi Hendrix, for example. This Star-Spangled Banner, that's a song of him. Yeah, so he's referring to the American flag. Aha. And that's why my intention goes to say, okay, there's the army involved in that, because that's a Star-Spangled Banner in it. And once again, Roman Polanski and Wojciech Frykowski and all these are Polish. Yeah, but it's all about disinformation program when everything the American public believes is false. And it's not quite far away from the Lookout Mountain Laboratory. So what's the truth? It's an Air Force station. What's the truth? Because we are into Hollywood. We are in Los Angeles. Still. And we're talking about Hollywood actors. We're talking about Steve McQueen. We're talking about Sharon Tate. Many people think that Manson was mind controlled through the Process Church. And Process Church can also be a government installation, so maybe he was really drugged. Because, you see, that would be far-fetched, because, of course, they have got drugs away. Like Tom O'Neill said, they have gotten drugs away to people. Yeah, he was in the same prisons. Yeah, treating people like Volga experimented with LSD. And that entire time being protected by the government. Yeah, so he was at least a guinea pig. What happened to, I believe, Manson in prison? Yeah, I think that more or less is a guinea pig here. I just want to spare you all this 2 hour and 15 minutes of interview. It's a really interesting book, of course. Yeah. But I think it does not cover the entire truth. Because it's covered only the fact that drugs were being part of a government program, and maybe also of Operation Chaos, which is most likely. But when somebody is mentioning that something has been sold like 18 millions, I get a little bit suspicious, huh? 18. But it's just me. Yeah, so witnesses lied under oath. Of course, they were cheering, they were lying, they were singing songs in jail or in court. How unbelievable is that? When you face death penalty in 1969 in California, you could have been faced with death penalty. And wow, what a coincidence! For a short amount of time, that death penalty was been then not executed, but there was another law. So that they could not be executed anymore. And a few years after that, they have reinstalled the death penalty. Oh, some people are lucky beyond belief. Beyond belief. Yeah, Wojciech, Sharon Tate, Wojciech, Abigail Folger. Yeah, this attempt on the lives. Jay Sebring. Jay Sebring lived in a house called the Haunted Castle, where murder has been committed before, and no, it was officially accident by an American starlet. I'm not going into this, but he said that the studio protected it, made it look like a suicide. Yet that's also my belief. But they had secret doors, had drugs. And he says his main concern was that he was being in touch with some official policeman, and he was extracting information over a huge amount of time, over years, unless he got the confidence of the police guy who was just withholding evidence. And he said that on the night before the murder occurred, they had dinner at Jay Sebring's so-called haunted house, and he was one of the first guy who had installed cable TV at that time, 1969, and out of a sudden the TV signal was gone. So they could not make up anything out of it, and they just called up the technician. But the technician, he was, as far as I can remember, as Mr. Memory, he had a date with a girl, or so. He said, "Oh no, I can't come over," and so they happened to drive to another location, so that they assume that the Manson family tried to kill Sharon Tate even at Jay Sebring's house one day before, because of the cut wires of that telephone, of that cable TV. That is the story of Tom O'Neill, or it is the story that Tom O'Neill had been told. So you got another explanation or another possibility, yeah. Yeah, so that was when he told the police that the night before the murders, the cable had gone out. Yeah, so that there were the lines of the cable was deliberately cut because they were all sliced in the same manner or so. It seems significant that the night before those same 4 people died. Yeah, sorry for my bad English and all the interruptions here, but it's hard. It's very time consuming to go into this. You can't imagine how many weeks, months someone has to be busy to get all the things in a meaningful manner. Yeah, because the first thing that Tex was doing, or Charles Watson was doing, was climb the pole and cut the phone wires at Cielo Drive 1 day later. So you can assume that Tex Watson also visited Jay Sebring, and he was keen to kill Sharon Tate. Yeah, that's the unofficial explanation. Yeah, and he said that special police guy, he had a beautiful millionaire's mansion. He was a really corrupt cop. Yeah, what does the Bible say that in the days of Noah, the condition then, the earth was corrupt? And you see that if that story is has some foundation, of course there are corrupt cops, there are corrupt politicians. Majority of the world is corrupt. What a story, huh? So that video is called the CIA Secret Mind Control Experiment on Charles Manson. So he did research for 20 years. You can also assume, but that Tom O'Neill has very good ties to certain people. You can assume anything. I'm just getting back to the script now. This hangman position that allegedly Sharon Tate and Jay Sebring had occurred also show up in Polanski's movie Repulsion later in The Ninth Gate and Tate's last movie The Wrecking Crew. Interesting, huh? Yeah, so The Wrecking Crew. That was the movie that Bruce Lee got $11,000 to make these fight scenes. Interesting. So it was, I think, if I remember correctly, $10,000 and $1,000 expenses, which adds up to 11. So it's every time the same. It's every time the same. Wrecking Crew. Yeah, Phil Spector's crack team of studio musicians dubbed the Wrecking Crew. Yeah, and by coincidence, yeah, the so-called famous group from Laurel Canyon, the Wrecking Crew, the movie bears the same title, The Wrecking Crew, in 1968. Oh. Yeah, so most likely that movie also has something to do with the Laurel Canyon. And of course, there are actors playing in it who are in Laurel Canyon. For example, Bruce Lee, who was just the fight or stunt coordinator, and Sharon Tate. Yeah, you see all this Beach Boy stuff. Terry Melcher, the son of Doris Day, who formerly owned the Cielo Drive house or rented the Cielo Drive house. They are all in that, yeah. So Melcher listened to Charles Manson, and Charles Manson officially wanted to have a record contract, and Melcher didn't like that music that much. And so the official reason why Charles Manson ordered the killing of Cielo Drive 10050 inhabitants was that he did not know that Terry Melcher had moved out. Yeah, but apparently he was been told by the landlord. Yeah, it does not fit. Yeah, the official narrative is incorrect. Yeah, it's just a lie. Yeah. So, and to sum all these things up, look at this thing here of repulsion with a knife here, what is it, a razor's knife? What is it, Brett? Can you help me out?
Yeah, that's correct. It's a razor blade.
A razor blade, yeah, and then the hanged man, the symbol of death, yeah, and then you look at the supposed last picture of Sharon Tate. Is there something you would find odd in that picture?
Oh, well, we already talked about this, Michael.
Yeah, but we did not talk it officially.
No, well, she's smiling.
She's smiling, and it seems that her left eye is not closed completely.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah. So ever saw a smiling corpse?
Never have.
My. You see? Really, if you are in the government, you can do anything. You can make believe anything. You can even make believe a moon landing, including actors like, what's the name of that guy? That's a very famous actor, and he's not recognized as an actor. I think the name was Richard Nixon, huh? Or Neil Armstrong. These are all actors. Yeah. So when you got star coroner.
Oh, you know what, Michael?
What?
If we go by the Bible, they're all hypocrites. Yeah, they're all hypocrites. They wear the mask and they lie.
Yes. If you wanted to insult me and said that, how can he show dead bodies? Are you sure these are dead bodies? You know Operation Chaos? To get rid of the anti-Vietnam War movement? To make an end of the 1960s hippie movement?
These look like different pictures, though. The one in the upper left-hand corner, you can't really see any facial expressions, but the one in the lower right looks different than the one above it and to the left.
Yeah, that should be Jay Sebring here.
Oh, that's Jay Sebring.
Yeah,
okay.
That should be Jay Sebring, and that is Sharon Tate. And you see how obvious is this, that they really have a clear picture here and later an overexposed picture here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so
and who was that on the top left then?
That must be Abigail Folger.
Oh.
Yeah, and that must be Wojciech Wajkowski. Yeah, you see, yeah, we are talking about Los Angeles Police Department, a coroner to the stars, and all these famous people in Hollywood, where people driving Ferraris, Rolls Royces, Los Angeles Police Department, and they don't have any decent camera. What is that here? Is that a painting or a picture? And I have to give tribute to the one who has bought me on that road. Yeah. Because officially you never get to the nitty gritty. You really think, oh yeah, everybody's talking about and the police department and all the stuff. Yeah, sure, this is just government. This is just government. This is just government. The Hanged Man is associated with Christ. Polanski directed a movie about the Antichrist. Manson was made into an icon as the Antichrist figure. Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, what a symbolism here. Yeah, you see Rosemary's Baby, and then the English prince, she's wearing a similar dress as Lady Di or as Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, the word pig written on the wall of a house was inspired by the Beatles song Piggies, and Tate has a car with the license plate Piggy 33. That's why I said Miss Piggy. Where to start? Yeah. Beach Boys, Bluebirds Over the Mountain, Project Bluebird. Resembles a song written officially by Charles Manson, Never Learn Not to Love. Oh. Where to start? Abigail Folger was trained by the Dominicans. The victims, Jay Sebring, perpetrator Patricia Cranwinkle, and lawyer of Manson, Irving Kennerek, were all Jesuit trained. My. What a world, huh? What a world. What a world. And every time, all roads lead to Rome. Sharon Tate, born on 24th of January. Natasha Kinski, the later muse of Roman Polanski, 24th of January. Where to start? Yeah. Susan Atkins, Church of Satan, another distraction tool. In the 70s, Polanski introduced Nastasia Kinski as new Sharon Tate. So you see, we are talking about an actress here. We are talking about that everything has been set up to be a scripted reality. So that people really think that, oh yeah, they just met by coincidence. They were just having a good time. She even appeared in Rosemary's Baby here with the blonde wig this time. Yeah. They are actors, and this is Sharon Tate with Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee being an actor. We are all speaking about actors. We are all speaking of Hollywood. This is Sharon Tate. And Bruce Lee. My. And of course, guess who has visited Roman Polanski in Switzerland in 1970? That was Bruce Lee. My. Regular skiing had put me in very good shape, which impressed him, and we resumed my martial arts lessons. In return, I tried to teach him to ski, but failed miserably. Despite the coordination and reflexes that made him such an effective fighter, Bruce simply couldn't master this unfamiliar sport. Yeah. And Roman Polanski, we will talk about that in the next session, has also reference to Bruce Lee in The Pianist. Very interesting. Yeah, he's having a date in a cinema where he has sexual petting with his girlfriend by watching a Bruce Lee film. How awesome is that? The Tenant, 1976 Bruce Lee date. They are watching a Bruce Lee movie while getting horny. You can't make that up. You can't make that up. So you got dozens of references, but it's hard to get the things straight. And I was totally flabbergasted when I realized that they have put this Bruce Lee movie together, but in an erroneous chronology. Yeah. So the scenes, the cut does not fit. And as he's a director, he ought to know. So that has also a different meaning. And I said, oh, wow, that gets very interesting and very complicated. But I'm not giving up on that. Yeah, somebody said, they are jumping around in that fight scene chronology. I said, oh yeah, that has also some interesting meaning. And I think that I'm very close to the answer, but it's not the right time now. Yeah. At the same date, there's a weird connection because Disney owned both the Tate and LaBianca houses. Disney is a Freemason company with a Disney logo 666. And they have a so-called attraction, the Haunted Mansion. Is a dark ride attraction at Disneyland, Magic, Sorcery Kingdom, and Tokyo Disneyland. They have doom buggies, not moon buggies, but doom buggies. Yeah, and they debuted here on August the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Yeah, the exact date, the 8th to the 9th, when supposedly the Manson killing was taking place. Yeah, the Disney company who was owning Cielo Drive house, yeah, is opening this haunted horse mansion. How awesome is that? For a limited numbers of park guests on August the 9th and the 10th, yeah. So that haunted mansion attraction opened at Disneyland 666 Freemason. Must be another coincidence. When Disney owns Cielo Drive, when that is correct information. Where to start? Satan was played by Clay Tanner, not Anton LaVey. Okay. Yeah, and so Sharon Tate, of course, has also promoted the devil in the movies. She said that, oh yeah, how beautiful the devil is. She's an actress, huh? She will repeat everything that she has been paid for. Polanski. Charlie's Angels was scripted after the Manson cult in Hollywood. Yeah. I think that we are... If you want to have more allegations or more contributions to Freemason, this is from the Fearless Vampire Killers. I had to look the entire movie a few weeks ago, and it's absolutely correct. They are showing a Masonic chess checkered floor in that movie.
Sure. Typical Roman Catholic, actually.
Yeah, but you see, that seems to be really that. Where is it? Okay. Okay. Even Kenneth Anger, Lucifer Rising, has been financed by J.P. Getty. This is all Satanist. It's. If the people don't get this, that is a Freemason organization. It's inverse square law. Yeah, you can debunk the moon landing with that. Watergate. All these things are rituals. Yeah. The resigning of Nixon took place at the 8th of September, not on the 9th of August, but 8-9 or 9-8 date of the Sharon Tate, which will...
8th of September.
Yeah, but the Sharon Tate murder happened on the 9th of August, so it's... yes, of course, it's American format. Oh, you turn everything around, yes.
August 9, yeah.
Yeah, it's really late, you see, to look at this. Oh my, sorry, yes, you are correct. Oh.
Yeah, isn't that something? I mean, that always throws me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's everything backwards and upside
but you see
down
that
and inside out.
To be replaced by Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford is Freemason. Oh my. Oh my. Play Me Backwards von Joan Baez. Oh.
This is a song?
Yeah. You don't
That's
have to
the title of the song? Play Me Backwards?
Yeah, that's a song where Joan Baez is blaming the record industry.
Oh, Joan Baez.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Yes. You don't have to play me backwards to get the meaning of my verse. You don't have to die and go to hell to feel the devil's curse.
Yeah. I think many people they know exactly where the rabbit runs, but they can't speak out because they will lose their position, their job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, it looks like an attribution here to Rosemary's Baby, actually.
Well, there's a lot to be said here, Michael. We've just barely even touched the surface
I
of
know.
it. We've just barely even skimmed it.
I know,
and
but you would need.
That's the problem with this. You know, it's like what's attributed.
I don't want to
in
do
the
another
beginning.
50 plus sessions on that. You see.
Can we just sum it up real briefly by saying, you know, it's that saying in the book, The Global Vatican, that many people aren't going to be wanting to look into Romanism too much, because when you do, all of a sudden everything has changed and you are going to be busy for months and months and months and months and months on end. And yeah, you really do begin to see how the world disdains this. They absolutely hate it because everything they've been told, it's like what you see right here. We'll know our disinformation program is complete when the American public believes everything the American.
They will also believe that digital money is more secure than your usual cash, to get rid of cash and all this stuff. Yeah.
In other words, the exoteric is what you get. You don't get the esoteric. See, that's what we believe. The controllers believe the esoteric. The public believes the exoteric. And that's everything we say, everything we do, all the media, all the Jesuitical training. It's all to promote that ratio studiorum. Yeah, it's worse than a mess. Much worse than a mess.
Yeah,
it's the Counter-Reformation.
Yeah, so everything is located here in this Laurel Canyon, Benedict Canyon, Bel Air, Los Angeles. Here's Bruce Lee. Here is Sharon Tate. Yeah, it's just so close by. So, she's murdered innocents. Or that's the official frame. The official frame is that she was hanged and murdered and slaughtered and everything else in that place. Ask yourself, have you ever seen a dead man lying on his side? Ask yourself. You need body tension to achieve that position. Without body tension, you would simply fall on your back, in my humble opinion. I don't buy the entire story, and I will now tell you why. First of all, the CIA involvement in all that stuff. Paul Tate, Sharon Tate, been educated in the army. Yeah, here, air base in Verona in Italy. Huh? Wasn't there a secret treaty in Verona?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what a coincidence, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's an army asset. I just say that she's an army asset. I came across that script that many of you maybe would know. I'm not in line with the opinion of the author when it comes down to other people. But I'm very much according to the opinion of Miles Method when it comes down to Sharon Tate murder. The Tate murders were false flag and the greatest unknown success story of Project Chaos by Miles Methods. And I have to give regards to him for being so brave to go into this narrative to question the entire frame. Yeah, because this is Sharon Tate reborn in the Fearless Vampire Killer, so to speak, where she's been seen with a wig as an actress in the Fearless Vampire Killers. She's having a good time. This script is available on Miles Matthews' page. I was very amused when I learned that Miles was also part of a lodge, but that must be just a sheer coincidence then. Yeah, I have to look it up. He was Sigma Nu or something like this, so a fraternity in college. Yeah, so
well, in college, that's
yeah. Jay Sebring has made a quote which I've looked up and find to be correct. He said, "You will best benefit yourself by keeping an open mind and forgetting most of what you have learned in the past." Because Jay Sebring is in on it. Yeah, he's part also of the CIA operation. If Sharon Tate has not been killed, then the entire narrative falls. Then there was no killing. Then it was just a CIA front. It was just a CIA operation. But we have much proof. For example, where is that picture? That picture here, where Miles Matthews claims that it has been attributed, that this child here has been attributed to that picture, was not part of the official picture, because you clearly see shadows here in that picture of the head, and you don't see any shadows of that girl on her shoulder. So that seems to be a fabricated photo. We're talking about 1969, huh? Or a little bit later. We're not talking about 50 years later with all the possibilities. So back to his script. The Tate hoax has stood for 43 years. The alleged murders took place on August the 9th. Woodstock would happen just 1 week after the alleged Tate murders. Note that. Yeah, and Woodstock also is very funny, because if you then know that many people have collapsed and had problems with drugs, etc., then the army flew in doctors. Yeah, you see that. I suppose that Woodstock also Woodstock is also a place where Jesuits are involved, and I think that Woodstock also is an army project. Yeah, I'm quite sure about that. History, COINTEL Pro. Yeah, you see that's a document of 95 pages. I suppose that everybody is an actor, including Charles Manson, Susan Atkins. I suppose they are all actors. When I learned that Susan Atkins was a part of the Church of Satan, I immediately was questioning the entire narrative on the murders of Charles Manson. Dennis Hopper said, the Tate House had fallen into sadism and masochism and bestiality, and they recorded on videotape too. The LA police told me this. I know that 3 days before they were killed, 25 people were invited to that house for a mass whipping of a dealer from Sunset Strip who'd given them bad dope. An actor has another story. That's interesting, but I just want to have the facts. Just the facts, please. Just the facts. Yeah, so that is the father of Sharon Tate. Oh, we are speaking about... and they had to make Manson a beast, yeah? So he's 5'2" or 5'3", but they have to create it as kind of a possessed beast. So I think, personally, that all the Satanism in 1960s, or the majority of it, was used as a vehicle for the Secret Service. To blame things, operations, on the disguise of Satanism, to manipulate the people away from the Secret Service, which is essentially the same. Yeah, they are all Satanists, but they are just not doing that kind of a Church of Satan and the processed church and the satanic bike riders and straight Satans and all the stuff. You see, it is so obvious because it's so immense. Yeah, it's not happening once, but there are motorbike Satanists, there are Charles Manson Antichrist, there are Process Church. It's too much. It's too much. And then John Todd says, yeah, she wanted out. Sorry, she's CIA. So therefore you can debunk John Todd too. That means that John Todd either is fraud or John Todd has been told something, and you can't be always correct. Yeah, so you fall also for lies. Years ago, I believe that the Bataclan ritual had maybe happened with the Eagles of Death Metal and the killing then in Paris. Nowadays, I'm absolutely not convinced of that. I question everything. And you also have to question everything. You're living in a satanic world with the Antichrist spirit being present for thousands of years. Most everything that you have been told is a lie. Yeah, her father, of course, is in it. Imagine if you're an actress and you suddenly think about, oh, now I want to become a mother, and you're being a household name in Hollywood, and maybe you want to have a life on your own. You want just to get rid of all the publicity. Then the best thing would be to just follow orders and to start a life anew. You find that not believable? Oh, maybe, yeah. So the Manson family lived in Spahn's movie ranch. A movie ranch with a bus of Hollywood productions, driving to a home where a famous actress lives, what happened to be that her husband allegedly is a horror movie director, Roman Polanski. Oh, what a bunch of coincidences. And all happens in Los Angeles, the city of angels in Laurel Canyon. Really? Really? Yeah, this Leslie Van Houten, I find that girl drop dead gorgeous. Yeah, these are the killers. She allegedly did the killing on La Bianca, and La Bianca seems to work actually, the killing, but I imagine that was another killing, and it is also not part of this Manson stuff here on Cielo Drive. Because I have a hard time believing in all this Cielo Drive stuff because of certain things which are happening. Yeah, it's a script, and all the blame on Satanism, and everybody who's diving into this will be confronted and bombarded with Satanism. Yeah. Miles Matthews makes very interesting claims, and absolutely is very straightforward thinking. He says, look at the size of the door. This is just a fancy house. It's a very prestigious house. Look at the interior of the day of the murders. Yeah, there's a shabby couch in it, yeah, with stains on the floor, and cheap furniture all around. Yeah, so that is the home of $1 million director driving a Ferrari, and Sharon Tate driving a Rolls Royce in that shabby apartment. Yeah, you have to think very much outside the box to come to these conclusions. And I really appreciate people who are very clever to look behind the scene or the script. Yeah, so it looks as if that interior happened to be there on purpose, because this is a comparison to years before, when they have a prestigious couch there and everything was fitting, and this is the couch on the alleged murder evening. Everything very shabby. Look how filthy that couch is. Yeah, you think that Sharon Tate, as such a beautiful, stunning Playboy model, wants to sit on that couch? Really? Have you ever had a date with a girl? Oh, Sharon, come in. How nice. Make yourself comfortable. This is my couch. Really? Yeah. So this is a chair, and you see that they even had not enough money to spend to have what? Help me out, Brett. What's it called? Not the coat, but
the carpet.
The carpet. Thank you. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
They did not have any money to stretch the carpet onto the end of the room. The end of the room. It looks staged.
Right.
It looks absolutely staged.
Mm-hmm. It made it look really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it does not
On
look
purpose.
as. Would you think that Sharon Tate would live there, huh? At that old chair with that filthy couch and that kind of a carpet? You really think so? No, they were not just moved in 2 days ago. They happened to live there for some weeks. Yeah, pig's blood. Could be, yeah? Could be. Yeah? And then I was very amused as I found that headline. Sharon Tate is alive. Close friend sees her with Polanski in Brazil. Could be. Could also be made up. This also could be made up by CIA. You never know. You never know. What I was trying to tell you is that you have to ask every narrative. Yeah. Things could be faked. Yeah. Pictures could be faked. Yeah. So in a few miles apart, there is this infamous studio from the army. It's Lookout Mountain, Air Force Station, screening rooms, helicopter landing pad, equipped with 35 and 60 millimeter motion pictures. Warner Brothers, civilian personnel, Warner Brothers, MGM, RKO Pictures. Come on, really. Ronald Reagan, Howard Hawks, Jimmy Stewart, John Ford, Bing Crosby, Walt Disney, Marilyn Monroe were given clearance to work at the facility on undisclosed projects. So they had all this Secret Service clearance. That means also that Marilyn Monroe was a keeper of some secrets. She was not a regular model who was just, I'm in for my good looks. She was, in some strange aspect, she was also an army asset. That's why you could conclude that Marilyn Monroe maybe was used. But that's your train of thoughts. It's very coincidental that she was meeting Kennedy John and Kennedy Robert. Very strange coincidences then. Yeah, Lookout Mountain. They could overlook the entire scene. Yeah. Fake sheriffs. Spahn's movie ranch in the background. Yeah. Even in detail you see some things which do not fit. Yeah, which really do not fit. I really admire this. Somebody who is there pictured here with the sheriff sticker on the back. Yeah, so that's very odd. That looks like a movie here, but not like happening in real. It's extremely odd. It won't get any better. It will get worse. Yeah, smiling corpses. Yeah, you can't believe that she's dead, huh? Sorry. By all means. Yeah, they are laughing right in your face, but you believe it because the government tells you that you have to believe it, because otherwise you're a conspiracy theorist. But
and we can't be that now. No. We follow all the
your choice, Brett.
narrative.
Are you questioning the narrative, or are you just obeying and stay asleep?
Go with the flow, as they say. Go with the flow.
Yeah, in Germany we have a saying: only dead fish go with the flow.
That's right. Only the dead fish.
Only the dead fish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Only the dead fish follow the current.
Yeah, maybe Jay Sebring has covered his face because he could not shake with laughter, so that he could not take any picture. I do not know. I don't buy the entire story. The wounds do not fit up. Everything, the furniture, nothing fits. Nothing fits. Manson clearly knew that Melcher was not in that house and was not occupying that house anymore. He knew. Yeah, so there is absolutely no excuse. There's no excuse why they have then chose her or them. Yeah, and so many things are not fitting here. Somebody says that one breath was cut up. So many lies, so many things. Yeah, it's awesome. It's really awesome if you really think about that. In the end, you know that the coroner must be in it, the police must be in it, the court must be in it, everybody must be in it. Everybody who is a government official must be in it. And nobody dares to say anything, because then you would face real consequences, even unto death. Yeah, so they are. I'm sorry for that picture, but they are showing you pictures of apparently a woman, but I don't think that she's pregnant 8.5 months. So that's not her. Or she's not pregnant. Or you see that you can have it both ways. So these are all just deceptions. Yeah, I just wanted to. This is just from a movie here. I just wanted to show that. Yeah. Simply because if you see it in this case, and if you know about the moon landing, then you have to question everything. And it's the same in any case of murder or disappearance and all the stuff. You can't know what the truth is. Yeah. So I'm really tired of going into every nitty-gritty. You can't know what the truth is. Yeah. But that does not seem to fit up. This picture also seems to be fabricated. The baby's face is so much whiter than Sharon's and Deborah's, and Sharon has a dark cloud around her head, and you see that everything can be made up. We're talking about laboratories, we're talking about army fabrication. They can forge anything, and can you imagine their possibilities now? They can even let dead people talk in their movies, and with the AI, so to speak. Yeah, they can later claim that I said something which I never said. Yeah. And the solution to all the stuff, or the most possible outcome, is that Sharon Tate has only one sister and not two, because these girls present at the funeral, they match in terms of age, but they are not 6 years apart. Yeah, so somebody else is also playing a sister, which is very important soon, because that is the most famous murdered innocence, Sharon Tate. Because out of a sudden in 1990 somewhere, a so-called Patty Tate arrived on the scene. And she was complaining about the band Guns N' Roses, that they are wearing a T-shirt displaying with Charles Manson on a stage. So that is the reason why Patty Tate came into publicity, and she claimed that that's not right. That will hurt the feelings of her murdered sister. Yeah. The problem is that. She died officially in the year 2000, but there is no death certificate. And there are many other artifacts. Gravestone. Oh, I'm so glad when we can do Bible sessions. It's so time consuming to go all in this stuff. That's the official engravement, the gravestone of Sharon Tate. Promotion, propaganda. Yeah, her name is not Sharon Tate Polanski. Her name is Sharon Marie Polanski. Okay? That's the first hint. The second hint is the resemblance of Sharon Tate with her sister Patty Tate.
Oh, there's no resemblance.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, the eye color is a little bit different. Yeah, you can have eyes, and you can have a nose job too. But Miles said, okay, there's a little thing that you can't change that easily, because that's the size of her left ear. And I was struck by it. I was very amused. I've read the entire article, and also Charles Manson is appearing several times on television, and he's wearing jewelry and all the stuff which is not allowed in a high security prison. Yeah, with a long beard, and all this stuff is officially not allowed in a Californian prison. Yeah, but it's no problem. Yeah, it's absolutely no problem, because I think that these are all actors. They are high-paid actors by the CIA, by the government, yeah, playing killers and playing victims.
And they're having fun with it.
And they're having fun with it.
Obviously.
Obviously, you can go endless in that. But I've shown you the picture. Yeah, you see, you can
And they
make
get the
everything up.
spotlight too, Michael. They get the spotlight of the media.
It's always the same guy, for example, but you just change or fill in the glasses here with dark color, and it looks like another guy, and it's where do you start? I'm so sick of that. I'm doing it to show it once and for all that I'm sick of doing that, because it gets me in a bad mood when I see all the deceptions there. I just want to have a life where I have a little bit of joy, at least, in it. Yeah, so eye colors can be changed with lenses, but the ear is not that easy to change. You can fix your teeth a bit, but she's not opening her mouth. But I think that it's such a close call here. And don't forget, there are 25 years between. Sharon and Roman lived basically on the set of Lookout Mountain film set, and the Manson family lived in the desert at the Spahn movie ranch, another film set. You expect me to believe Manson got over 40 interviews dressed in jewelry and civilian clothing as a lifer in prison? Cali prisons don't even allow beers, quite literally a Hollywood production. But murdered innocents, huh? That's Patty Tate. No, that's not Patty Tate, that's Sharon Tate. And she's been fooling us her entire life. She's a liar. And she's a follower of Satan. Not of Charles Manson, but of Satan. According to John 8:44, Satan is a liar and a murderer from the beginning. She played a victim. How cruel is that? Yeah? She's just an actress, and she played her best role on the night of the 8th to the 9th of August 1969. World famous. She could never have achieved that kind of stardom and fame if she had not been officially murdered by Charles Manson.
Not even directly murdered by Charles Manson, by the way.
Not even directly murdered by Charles Manson, yes, but that is also the best movie that Roman Polanski ever pulled off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was one that was funded by our own government here in the States.
Yes. You can look it up at Weird Scenes at the Canyon, and you can look it up at Miles Davis. You see that if you fall for the moon landing, yeah, if you really think that this is a moon landing, this isn't the right program for you. But if you have an open mind and you can question everything, yeah, and you know that the government has betrayed you in the moon landing ritual.
Oh, and not only just that.
Yeah, but why can't you then allow yourself to think that they also have betrayed you with Charles Manson and Sharon Tate?
And with the 9/11 incident of 2001. Mm-hmm. Hello?
Yes, it's all a script. And you have to step out of the script. It's all an agenda. Yeah? And these are the people behind the agenda. These are the people bishops, with the most power and the most money.
And the Pope.
Doing Satan's sign, Satan's salute. Yes. I love you, Satan. So these are the people
and with
deluding.
A smile. With a smile.
Service with a smile. Yes, these are the people deluding people to get rid of the Bible because of their so-called science that they can go to the moon and beyond. Yeah, Paul Tate's, Sharon
they
Tate's.
Don't get rid of the Bible. They just simply have how can we say this? They misrepresent the Bible. They usurp the Bible.
You can imagine, my level of frustration sometimes when I really see the ignorance of people, that they just don't want to believe it because it's just more comfortable to stay on your filthy couch, like Sharon Tate, under your Star-Spangled Banner or everything else in the world, and just simply believe the anchorman that everything will be okay and that the government will protect you and do the best, and it's all for your own safety and health. When there are actors out there, paid actors, crisis actors, in the case of 9/11, in the case of Sharon Tate and all the stuff, there is much police and coroners, they must be in it. If Sharon Tate was alive after that, then your coroner to the stars, Thomas Noguchi, lied to you. And the government and the trial and the court lied to you or to us.
That's because, Michael, that's because the secret societies run the government through the church. It's very complicated, and people don't like that complexity because, all of a sudden you're fiddling with something you shouldn't fiddle with because those people know what they're talking about. Oh, yeah, they sure do. Those esoteric blank blanks.
They are all paid by the satanic beast system. Call it the government, call it deep state, call it whatever you like. But these people are all liars. And in the case of the father of Sharon Tate, when he's a high-ranking U.S. Army official, then these people love death. They are in the army. Come on, these are not the smiling people. These people, they want war. They don't care about death. They don't care about lies. The first thing that dies in war is the truth. That's a German saying.
And that's something they cannot afford to have in the open, is the truth. Therefore, they must destroy it at any cost and any means, to deceive you at any means. That's that's exactly their motto. It's the exact opposite of the Bible. It's the exact opposite of what Michael and I believe.
And it's so important to know that these are government officials. So his entire life, his entire career, his entire money, his entire social status, all is dependent on the state. And when the state says, "So, Paul, you got a lovely daughter. Let's make her a United States role model, and maybe you can use her for the anti-war movement in Vietnam, because we have to play it straight for the Roman Catholic Church, so the religious war in Vietnam, then Sharon Tate is not playing only for her father or on behalf of the CIA, but she is a tool of the papacy. And you will be rewarded, of course. My. Colonel Paul Tate. He hasn't changed. Never tear loose on society. I deny parole on Tate's killer and my daughter and all that stuff. Yes, you can believe it. And if I would be a father who have lost his child, I would react much more harsher than that. But he's United States employee. And I don't believe it for one bit. I don't believe your moon hawks. I don't believe your 9/11 hawks. I just believe that everything that the CIA puts out in front is a lie. The disinformation program of the Central Intelligence Agency. It's disinformation, so it's Central Disintelligence Agency. And that's Bruce Lee here on the funeral of Sharon Tate.
How about just say counterintelligence agency?
Counterintelligence, so dumbfounded. Right. So that is supposedly Bruce Lee.
Or pardon my French, but dumbass.
Dumbass, that is supposedly Bruce Lee at the funeral of Sharon Tate. Don't ask me if he knows what kind of a game is playing. I do not know. But we will find out much more things sooner, because I imagine that you've been framed. We have been framed. We have all been framed. We are constantly being framed. Now the United Nations Health Organizations or World Health Organization is coming up with digital COVID passes, or only for the security of the civilians, of course. Yeah, so everything will be digital, and they can lock down and shut down all the social media and all the stuff. Yeah. So once again, I say we have been framed. You've been framed. The script is coming from the CIA, and actually the script is coming from much more higher above. The director in the first place is Roman Polanski. The agency in charge, some people of it must be from the Lookout Mountain Laboratory and from the LAPD. And not to forget from the coroner as well. The script assistant must be Wojtek Frykowski, an alleged victim, because he was a scriptwriter and a director as well. So he was the one who said, oh, maybe if you can fine-tune this and fine-tune that. You see that these people have also maybe only to obey, but maybe he was in with the script. Also in the script must be Colonel Paul Tate, because, as the father of Sharon Tate, he must be in the knowing, of course. He must know that his daughter, what his daughter was playing part, because he allowed, at the age of 17, his daughter to pose with spread legs on a rocket. Come on. It's not the action of a really caring father. So everybody is an actor. Sharon Tate is an actress for the United States Army. Jay Sebring is an actor. He was a Jesuit, and I will soon find out that he's also a Freemason. Abigail Forger has also Jesuitical connections. That leaves Wojtek Frykowski. The post-production has been made by the authorities to cover up all the stuff by the state of California. That means the fornication of Cali, and by the LAPD, by the prosecutor Vincent Bugliosi, who of course could not tell you other things than the official narrative, and the sheriff department and certain crisis actors. And that scheme, or a similar scheme, you will find in any big crisis on this world. Everywhere. In every government. It's all a script. I don't know what happened to Elvis Presley. And I know that Miles Matthews claims that Bruce Lee did not die. I do not share his opinion on that matter. But I share his opinion about the case of Sharon Tate. And there are so many people in it that people have a hard time to believe that it's all been set up. But imagine how many people were in the moon landing hawks. And even Neil Armstrong, he never dared to tell you something other than that truth protective layers. That's all that he dared to say. That's all that he dared to say.
That is so vague. Truth protective layers.
Yeah, truth protective layers means a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there are many, many people. Terence Cook, I would highly suggest, is in it. And you see, nothing happens by chance. This Rolling Stones concert at Altamont, free concert. Who's sponsoring that? Special guest, Grateful Dead. And I said, okay, I know that's a CIA mission. Because Grateful Dead, I know that's a CIA operative band, and I know Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young are also, Jefferson Airplane too. So the security is made by Hells Angels. So how obvious is that, huh? So, and the Hells Angels, because they were drunk and had a bad time, and that guy officially was having a gun and pointing it to Mick Jagger, the lead singer here of Rolling Stones.
Oh, look, Satana's there too.
Come on. Santana, yeah, Satan is there too, yeah. Carlos Santana, yeah, the one who's
just drop the first N in it.
Yeah, Santana also said he said that I was playing high on LSD in front of 50,000 people. They are boasting with that. And personally, I like some music of Santana, but not of Black Magic Woman. Yeah, I see, it's so obvious, actually, that they're all just blaming it on Satanism when it is the CIA who's hiding behind Satanism. People who are looking behind the official narrative, they then find Satanism and said, okay, yeah, that's it, yeah, that's it, that's the government is not telling us the truth, that is Satanism, and blah, 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 blah. No. It's just the secret society. Of course it is Satanism, but not the obvious Satanism they are playing as a distraction. And so the Hells Angels, they have stabbed that guy. If that is correct, you see that you have to question every narrative. Yeah, but that was the end of the free concert tour and drugs and all this stuff. So that was getting serious. They were murdering and there were things happening. Officially on Wikipedia, years ago, they have told you that it was happening during the song Under My Thumb, but it happened actually when he was dressed in his red, black Satan outfit and playing Sympathy for the Devil. So if that was a real occurring murder, that was a real sacrifice to Satan. I said if. Interesting also, the date of that is December the 6th. Yeah, so 6/12. Yeah, is of course 18. Is of course 666. It's every time the same. Hells Angels, Santana, the Rolling Stones, a free concert, Grateful Dead, CIA. Pfft, come on. Yeah, that was the end of the 1960s. That was the end of the hippie movement. And it was all deliberately planned, in my humble opinion. If you don't believe it, you don't have to believe it. But this is a CIA institution, the Grateful Dead with the Wall of Sound. If this does not look like a temple, then I do not know what a temple looks like. The Grateful Dead Hollywood Bowl. To show you that that video, and that not only that video, but the comments below that video here. Because you only find two things. The one who say, "Oh, she's so nice to do that for her sister. She has a beautiful lady, and she's a lovely soul." And I feel sorry that Patty Tate died from breast cancer in the year 2000 at the age of 42. Oh, 42 once again. Freemasonry, number of the rulers of the underworld. You see, if they lie to you about Sharon Tate, why don't they lie about Patty Tate? Maybe she has not died. Maybe she has died. Wow, Patty looks like she could have been Sharon's twin, both so beautiful and kind. Yeah. And not by coincidence. Such a courageous little sister. It's wonderful. She was a wonderful woman. My heart goes out. I never knew Sharon had this one sister. What a mirror image of her. So beautiful. Rest in peace, Patty. We will never forget you or your family. Her voice sounded just like Sharon's. You and your sister and your mother will never be forgotten. What a beautiful lady. Patty looks so much like her sister. God bless her. She even talks like Sharon. Yes, she looks so much like Sharon. Wow, she sounded exactly like her. Patty looks just like Sharon. She is so beautiful. Heartbreaking. Rip Sharon. Rip Patty. I can't believe how much she looks. She's Sharon's twin. She looks and sounded so much like Sharon. Oh, Leslie Van Houten was released a few days ago. Is that correct? I did not know that.
I don't know.
She has the same voice that Sharon was. I noted that too. She has the same teeth as Sharon hadn't. Actually, they do have the same teeth. Yeah, it's Sharon. There's finally somebody, but these people have really 1994, so they're 25 years after. She's so beautiful. Yeah, she is. She's so beautiful. Oh, she's beautiful. This similarity is mind-blowing, said somebody here in German. She looks so much like Sharon. Whose ear is that? And somebody doesn't get that joke. Yeah. No records of her death. This woman is Sharon Tate. It's either Sharon's twin or Sharon. They have the same little notch on their left ear. It's a bit difficult to see here. It would make sense that this sister narrative is so believable because Sharon is an actress and you can see her skills are on point here. And she's 25 years older. Why would she fake her own murder? No, not she, but the government. Yeah, they're CIA
That's the
guys.
mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just CIA guys. Yeah, why would anybody fake the moon landing with that much apparatus and so much money? Yeah, because it's just meant to keep people away from God.
Yeah, it serves a bigger agenda. That's right.
Yes, serves a bigger agenda. She looks like Sharon too. She sounds like Sharon. She has the same expression and she looks like Sharon. Yeah. Patty was so beautiful, huh? She looks like Sharon. She looks like Sharon. This is Sharon. No, it's not. It can't be. Yeah? You can't question the narrative. Does this woman look 51 years to you? Yes, it does. You can do much with makeup. You can't tell a woman's age by looking at her. How is one supposed to tell with makeup artists and plastic surgery? This was 22 years after the event. There is no evidence of Patty until Sharon's death. Yeah. Why does Patty look exactly like Sharon? Because she was her. Yeah, isn't that sad? Compare her left ear at 5:53 to photos on pages 63 at milesmatthews.com.date. Yeah, 63. It's up to you to decide. Yeah, but you see the curving here on the left ear, for example. And you can have a nose job and something, and it's just 25 years or 20 plus years later. Different eyebrows, yeah, different eyeshadows.
That can be makeup, yeah.
Yes. My conclusion, everything is staged. And now, if you compare that with Bruce Lee, what we will do in the next session, that's the reason why Bruce Lee did not get a job in Hollywood in 1969. Because it was not time for the agenda. He had a script for a warrior who came to the United States, which then was being made with David Carradine of the series of Kung Fu. So they took a non-Chinese actor who intended to be a Chinese character in 1972. It has been said that this idea came from Bruce Lee, and it was downplayed that another party had almost the same idea then, and Warner Brothers then did that Kung Fu 1972 series. And that is the reason, my humble opinion, why Bruce Lee couldn't make it in Hollywood. Because it didn't fit the narrative. It did not fit the agenda. They were busy with anti-Vietnam War stuff, and they could not use a Chinese male in the lead role, because that would portray Chinese or Asian people in an extreme positive way. That's at least my opinion. I can't back it up. But nothing happens by chance. So you will be a big star when they have any use for you. So he had to go to Hong Kong, and then he became out of the blue a big star. And then they have noticed that in the United States, and they saw, okay, now the time is right to have a Chinese leading man, a sexy man with sexy six-pack abs, also here in the United States, because the Vietnam War is 1973. It was when Warner Brothers stepped in Hong Kong with Enter the Dragon. Then Vietnam War was going to an end, and then they could use Chinese or an Asian leading actor. That's at least my opinion about it. So if it doesn't fit the agenda, you can be the best that you can be, but you won't get the job. It's just a big agenda. And only if it fits the narrative, you'll be in the agenda. That's my opinion about it. And Next session will be a crossover between America and Hong Kong, and then we go into the final pace to Bruce Lee's last time, and then you see why I have mentioned then Manson and all that stuff. You will really, I hope that it will be worth the time. I'm sorry, I'm extremely tired now. It's midnight. I hope that somebody out there is getting the truth, that the Bible is correct, that in this world they worship the dragon and they worship the lie, and the CIA is just a tool of the Vatican, which you can clearly see in Operation Chaos. They are all actors, they are all liars, and you can't believe a bit. Thanks so much for having me, and God bless and Maranatha.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, another thing that can be said is that the lies actually are lucrative, and you can make lots of money by lying, because that's how the system works. It's all about deception and getting you to believe something that isn't true. It actually makes money, and debt is our economy. It is so incredibly backwards. It absolutely makes no cognitive sense at all if you sit and you think about a debt note. It's an article of debt. So I'm paying for things, your labor, I'm paying for whatever services at my home or anything I buy. It's a debt note. How is it that we work our entire lives and we live in a system of debt? It's so counterproductive to anything. And you just try and sit and reason that out, and you know what? It's not worth your time. That's why God said through the Bible, either you serve God or you serve Mammon. You can't serve both. Doesn't work. You can try to. You can try. Oh, yeah, you can try and serve both. But in the end, you're going to just be all completely confused. So I think that pretty much sums it up, Michael, that, we're just at the very beginning of this very long and very ugly picture that, we've been framed. That's right. Yeah. And who creates the frame? The master of the frame must be Satan himself.
Ye shall be as gods. Yeah.
There you go. The lie in the Garden of Eden. Yeah.
It's so obvious when the Pope is shaking hand to Greta Thunberg. Come on, how hard can it be? And Greta Thunberg is holding out a poster with Laudato Si.
That's right.
So everybody who's into research must see that. Laudato Si, Greta Thunberg. Not Great Barrier Reef, Greta Thunberg. Yeah.
Is that her dad?
I don't know.
But the shoe continue to walk, okay? Continue, okay? Go on, go ahead.
Ah, where is that poster when you need it?
Thank you for standing up for the climate, speaking the truth, and really.
I was just looking for the picture, not for any join the climate strike. Yeah. I know they have cut out Laudato Si or what? Oh, really? Red.
Oh, really? It says
Yes,
Laudato
yes,
Si underneath that? I see. Okay.
Yeah, you can't imagine the level of censorship nowadays. Yeah. So I'm
Oh,
trying to.
there it is. There it is.
Oh,
There.
And that's what people do not do when they do research. They said, "Oh no, that's too time consuming." Yeah, celebrate Laudato Si. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
these are
Papa
just
Si.
tools.
Papa Si Laudato Si. Yeah. The Antichrist in 2023. Alive and well, huh? Like that book of P.D. Stewart.
Ah, the Antichrist is a woman.
Alive and well.
Greta
Yeah.
Thunberg for Pope. Popes.
Yeah. 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 It's a sad situation.
I think that I have nothing to say because I'm so tired. Sorry, 5 hours in English. It's not
Not nice. Yeah.
not nice. Yeah,
No.
but I'm glad that this is over. It's just now one session and then the Bruce Lee session, maybe 4 to 6 sessions. If you then don't get it, then nobody gets it, and I think that it's so obvious. It's all a fake. It's all just a frame. It's all a frame. It's just television. Yeah, we're talking about actors, directors, Secret Service. It's just a movie. It's a horror movie. Roman Polanski has been famous for horror movies. Rosemary's Baby. And then it's Sharon's Baby. Ugh. Yeah. So that's it for me today.
Yeah, I think it really gets difficult because of all the sensationalism that's been thrown in the mix throughout the centuries. I mean, really, when you study history, you start recognizing how these interrelate one generation to the next. And I think that's probably the most important, in my opinion, of course, of doing your own research, is to be able to put those pieces back together and step back in time and see the formation of it yourself and have no one show you. Just figure it out on your own. And you'll see that, the world as it's presented to us today has gone through a sort of devolution, like the band Devo, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all about destroying what once was, and that was the liberty in Christ that came through the people that knew what the Bible was talking about. And it's really simple. It's super simple. But when you look at the world around us and these images like the one Michael's showing us here, they just distract and they take away from the simplicity, and all of a sudden it becomes fantasy. And they sell you an image that you must buy and you must sell. And if you don't go along with it, you don't eat. That's not necessarily true, but that's what the controllers want. They want to be able to frame the whole picture so you have no alternative but to look at the official narrative. And that's all you get. That's what they're doing. That is the agenda, in my opinion. They just simply are controlling the information and giving you their opinion. And you're not allowed to have your own opinion anymore. Used to be you could do that.
I got one small remark.
Go for it, Michael.
She's riding the beast on that picture.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The U.S. Army.
You see, with these rockets, usually you do kill. Sure.
And what is the beast? The beast is a tyrannical form of government.
A woman
So
rides
we've
the
gone
beast.
from liberty in Christ to liberty in Antichrist. That's the agenda I see, Michael. What once was liberty in Christ is now liberty and antichrist. And ye shall be as gods. Eating the forbidden fruit, the knowledge of good and evil. Isn't that what they're teaching us today? Hey, you don't have to learn foreign language anymore. Just take this AI chip inside your brain. Yeah, that's just brilliant, Elon Musk. Thank you. He's so smart. It's all BS. Michael's sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sure many of our listeners are sick of it. But guess what? That's what we got to live with. Rise of the beast. The opening of the bottomless pit. The technology. Yeah, some of it seems great until you see the bigger picture. Right, Michael? Mm-hmm. Not so great. Anyway, God willing, we'll be back next week with another session continuing into the dark realm of our modern history since the false flag event of the moon landing, let's say, huh? Conducted by our own military. And what do we have in the United States? We have the, what do you call that? The asset of Nazi Germany, Operation Paperclip. Mm-hmm. Not to be taken lightly. Argentina.
Werner von Braun coming from a Catholic family and nobility.
There's all kinds of things. I mean, it's not a simple picture. It's a very disturbing picture. I think that's why most of our friends and relatives and the people at large, they just cannot and will not handle it, because it's exactly as was framed by Edgar J. Hoover, right? When he said the individual comes face to face with a conspiracy so monstrous, he cannot believe it exists. Well, that's the way they framed it, like it or not. It's like playing chess with Satan. Not a good place to be, Michael. All right, so catch up with you next time. Bye-bye.